everyone. Welcome on back to the dojo. Happy Tuesday. Little Carrot, congrats on redeeming first. Sub to Karateman, aka Archie. Welcome back to the dojo. Sihan, good to see you. Welcome on in, everyone. It is Tuesday, and it is officially Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Guide 2.0 day, because we have a brand new book that just released. You guys can't see it. Obviously, we've got something in front of me here that is not normally on stream. You guys can see my phone, actually, which is being used as a webcam for today. So we can have a vertical cam looking straight down at the book as we read it. It's kind of crazy. It's a janky setup. But I also forgot to get music started before stream went live. So we're going to get some music going here. Does anyone have any suggestions? I was going to look for a Nintendo copyright free playlist because Nintendo's usually a safe bet. But I don't know. I do have a playlist here. I do not want a copyright strike is all. But I realized, hey, we're reading a book today. We're not playing a game. There's no music when you read a book, so we should probably play music in the background. So I'm looking for a playlist right now to play. I think I have one. I'm just not 100% sure that it's copyright free. Because I don't know if all the tracks in here are Nintendo or not. So probably not gonna play that one. If anyone has any suggestions, Kumu would probably be a good one to go with. Yeah, we can do a Kumu playlist. Let's do that. I don't know how long the stream is going to be, so we might end up running out of music at some point. But yeah, we'll just do a mix of Kumu. Do they have like spooky ones, or should I just do like all videos or something? Because we're going to need a lot of music. It's going to be a long day. So they have a whole thing of Super Mario remixes. All remixes. There we go. Okay, they do have a playlist for that. What up, Stots? Welcome back to the dojo. The End, welcome back to the dojo. And Ixskillix, welcome to the dojo as well. All right, let's shuffle these videos, and if we don't like what we hear, we can always skip it. Oh, I need to lower that volume by quite a lot, and I also need to give you guys volume. Can you pause, please, YouTube? Why is YouTube being so weird today? So janky. Well, welcome on in, everyone. Sorry if I'm taking an extra minute to get things set up here. Just want to make sure everything's working fine. I actually have my left monitor here. So I have a 3-monitor setup, and my left monitor is completely blocked right now by my tripod setup, which is just like a couple of books and a giant box stacked on top of each other. Do I sound like super echoey today? I don't know if that's just me, but I feel like I sound super echoey. Old or new YouTube? Old YouTube's better. Old YouTube's way better. Okay, y'all need sound. Let me do that in just a moment. Put that there. Okay, that should work for giving you guys sound. I just want to double check all my other output settings are good. They are. Okay. Let me know if you can hear that. That's still so loud. I already lowered it and it's already still very loud. I'll lower that a little more for you guys. All right, how's that? We can hear it? Good. Yes, my phone is already on Do Not Disturb. Don't you worry. Even if it did get a phone call, I don't know what exactly would happen or if I got like any notifications, because it's just solely being used as a webcam right now. Like if I plug my phone into my computer, there's a bunch of options for what I can connect my phone as. So it can be MIDI controller. It can be just for transferring photos and videos. It could be for charging only. But webcam is actually one of the options. So it's only functioning as a webcam right now. And even if I use my phone, like I can just pull my phone down and continue using it as normal, and you guys wouldn't be able to see my screen, but you'll still actively see the webcam, which is pretty cool. Never knew that. There was no clickbait then, and then the brain rot wasn't just AI slot. What? There's no brain rot here. Oh, you're talking about old YouTube? Yeah. Old YouTube didn't have, I mean, there was a little bit of clickbait. There was definitely some clickbait, but definitely not brain rot. No brain rot. Hey, before we get into the book reading, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've had this new Iron Man mask here sitting behind me. It was up on the shelf over here for like the past week, and nobody called anything out about it. It's reading, not reading. Did I spell it wrong? Did I spell it wrong somewhere? Uh-oh. Where did I say that I was reading it? Where did I misspell it, y'all? Did I misspell it in like a tweet or something? It's not misspelled in my Twitch title. Someone else misspelled it. I didn't even see that message. My bad. We are reading the FNAF Ultimate Guide. I can show you guys if we switch to this screen. But I want to show off that Iron Man helmet before we get into it. See, we got the new FNAF Ultimate Guide here. Look at this beautiful vertical camera we got going on. And yes, I do have a Five Nights at Freddy's shirt here. There's a reason for that. We'll find out soon. But before we get into that, I wanted to show you guys this new mask I got. Check it out. This is now my 3rd ever Iron Man mask. It was supposed to be my 2nd, but the one I got sent was the wrong model. And I tried returning it, but they just said, keep it and we'll refund you anyway. But this is the Mark 50 model, the Infinity War suit. This is the bleeding edge armor, but it's really cool because it opens in a bunch of different ways that the old suit didn't. So I'm going to put it on to show you guys. But check it out. Also, since this suit is based off the Infinity War one and not the Iron Man 2 one, this one has Friday in it instead of Jarvis. So if I turn it on, it's very cool. It's kind of hard to hold when you open it, but there's a lot of moving parts on this. So check it out. Ready? I'm going to open it. I'm going to open just the mask first. So this was just the front side. It gets a little sticky sometimes, but it still opens. So that's just the mask portion. And then there's a lot of other moving parts. So you'll notice this whole side piece is going to move. This back piece is going to move. And this side piece on the back is also going to move. So it's really, really cool. Check it out. It's so awesome. So it opens up significantly more. And when it's open this much, it's a lot easier to put on. I will say it is not one size fits all. It is in fact very, very tight on my head. My head is not made to fit this, but it you know, it works. It's very tight. And then if I do this, there you go. You can see the whole thing close. It is so awesome. There's also some lights over here. If you watch right here, I love it. Friday, open mask, open mask. Nice. I love this thing, but you can see how smushed my face is right now because it does not fit. It's quite tight, but I will say the tightness is keeping it in place on my head, which the other helmets don't do. The other helmets do not stay in place. But I like this one. So you can see this is just the mask open right now because this is still like pushed in. But if I'll look straight on at the camera right now so you can try and see some of the side pieces move. So here, check it out. I love the opening and closing. Also seeing the back piece open and close is really cool. It feels way more legit than my other masks, I will say. Because of all the various moving parts, it feels way more legit. It is so cool. But I'm going to take it off now and we'll get into the FNAF book. Little detour here. Oh, there we go. Like I said, very tight on the face. But yeah, this is my Iron Man Mark 50 mask from Infinity War. All right, let's shut this bad boy down. And we'll put it back in the background as some eye candy for y'all. Let me shut the remote too. All right, now that we've shown off all the fancy stuff, watch out for the spring locks. No spring locks in my Iron Man suits. Only in Five Nights at Freddy's. What up, Lolbit Enjoyer? Welcome back to the stream. All right, let's jump into this. As you guys know, we are just days away from the FNAF 2 movie releasing, and in anticipation of this release, a new book has come out, the FNAF Ultimate Guide 2.0. Now, I've never owned a FNAF book before, whether it's a story-based book, a novel, or a lore book. I've never had any of them. This is my first FNAF book, so I'm very interested to get into this. Welcome on in to everyone that joined in while I was showing off the Iron Man mask. Let's see what this is all about. And yes, I do have a FNAF shirt here. This is just like FNAF 1. But the reason I have it here is so the book can tilt slightly and there's no glare on the pages, which is very nice. I did like a lot of finagling around with my setup and lights and everything to see what would get rid of the glare. So I do have another light I can turn on here to add some more light to the book, but I think it'll add more glare. If we can get away with no glare from this, that'd be amazing. So there we go. Let me know how it looks for you guys. At times I can bring the book up to the camera, or I can also zoom in with the camera if I open this up. So I can zoom with the camera as well if we ever need, but I'll leave that saved at just 1.0. Okay, good. Cool, let's get into it then. Reading is so fun, I know, right? There's so much. I mean, look at the table of contents here. There's literally a chapter for every game. We've got Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, 3, 4, Sister Location, Pizzeria Simulator, which I just played yesterday and we technically still didn't finish. We also have Ultimate Custom Night, Help Wanted 1, Curse of Dreadbear, which is the DLC to Help Wanted 1, which I've actually never played that DLC. I don't know much about that DLC. Then you have Special Delivery, which is the AR mobile game. Then you have Security Breach, Help Wanted 2. I'm surprised there's not a page in here for Ruin, but maybe it's just part of Security Breach. Then you have chapter 13, Chica's Secret Party. Nobody has any idea what that is, and there's already been a ton of leaks because this book came out earlier than it was supposed to. So we'll probably skip over to that later on. That's on page 234, but we might skip forward to that at some point. Also, sorry if my camera's like blocked by my phone. There's not much I can do about it. This is the best setup we got. You were watching? Yeah, you guys were here to see it. Then after Chica's Secret Party, we have Secret of the Mimic, which is actually skipping Into the Pit because there was another game between Help Wanted 2 and Secret of the Mimic. So I don't know what happened to Into the Pit there. But then we have chapter 15, which is all of the books, and there are a lot of books. The interactive novels get their own little segment though. That's another series of books. I think there's 3, technically 4 of those books because we got book 0. That's the other FNAF book I read, was back during the 10th anniversary. We got the interactive novel book version 0, like the free version of it. So we read that before. That's technically the only other book I've ever read. This music is still so loud for me. I gotta lower the volume. Okay, after the interactive novels, we get Fazbear Frights. Oh, wait, there's different chapters for all of the book series. Okay, so the books in chapter 15 is just the trilogy then. That's the novel trilogy, not the novellas. Because then we got the Fazbear Fright novellas. We've got the Tales from the Pizzaplex novellas. Fazbear Entertainment Archives. I don't know what that is. And then animatronics inventory. That'll be pretty interesting. You think because it's 2.0? What? I think what? Because it's 2.0. I tried to buy it at my local library, but they didn't have it. I think we need a small zoom. Yeah. If you guys can't read the text, I'll have to zoom in. I want to what I want to do is read the page first, and then I'll zoom in for anything you guys want. Because I know you're not going to be able to fully read it, but if I zoom in the whole time, you're going to miss part of what's on the page. But I can leave it like that if you want to read along, I think. That's a little bit better. There's a little glare here, but not much I can do about that. All right, here we go. Chapter 1, Five Nights at Freddy's. I'll stop shaking the page in a second. Also, sorry about the glare that's coming from this side, too. There's like a giant... The Iron Man mask that you just saw me wear, this is the box that's next to it here. This is the box that it came in. All right, here we go. Chapter 1, Five Nights at Freddy's. It's the game that launched a million scream. Five Nights at Freddy's is a point-and-click horror survival game that was founded on a simple enough premise. Last 1 week working as a night guard in a pizzeria populated by homicidal animatronics. But what evolved from this concept quickly consumed gamers the world over. Fast forward a bit, and thanks in part to FNAF's startling jump scares, hilarious, terrifying Let's Plays dominated the video sharing sites, YouTube, fueling the public's curiosity and resulting in billions of views. Still, gamers soon realized there was more to FNAF than just deadly animatronics. Lurking in the dark end corners of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza are the threads of a disturbing mystery. This mystery hidden throughout the game in posters that change, hallucinations, and even the mysterious 5th animatronic, Golden Freddy, has kept fans playing and replaying the first game since it was released in August of 2014. So what's all the hype about? We're glad you asked. How y'all enjoying it so far? There's page 1. Moving over to page 2 here. I'll try and move the book as I'm reading through it so you guys can kind of see everything too. Good reading, thank you. I do not enjoy public reading or public speaking, but here we are. We're gonna see how it goes. Okay, so now we got the Freddy scoop. These pictures over here are straight from FNAF 1. I mean, at least this poster is. These newspaper clippings are a little more high res, so they're not directly from FNAF 1, but they're like recreations, I guess. I don't know exactly what all of it says, but he is written here in red text, and it says something about to life, but I have no idea what's behind it. I don't know what these newspaper clippings say, because I've never read them before. Already hooked, and I hate public speaking reading too. Yeah, welcome my life. Okay, here we go. This game begins with a Help Wanted ad. That game doesn't come for quite a while, but FNAF 1 has a Help Wanted ad for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. You'll be working as a security guard on the midnight to 6 a.m. shift. The pay is pretty hard. The pay is pretty bad at just $120 a week, $4 an hour. Yikes. Hey, at least they're calling out the hourly wage because that is what was used by MatPat originally to determine the 1993 year for Five Nights at Freddy's 1. But who knows if that year is like correct anymore or not. Okay, continuing on. We'll get to that later, it says. You occupy a stationary position in the office. You can turn to the right, to the left to see 2 sets of doors and buttons. One button in each set shuts a door. The other turns on a light outside the door. You can also pull up a monitor to check the security cameras. Okay, pretty straightforward. There's a little bit more on the bottom here, but we're zoomed in. Let me move the book. Here we go. Okay. Once you land in the office, the phone starts ringing. Things we'll learn from Phone Guy. Phone Guy apparently worked in the same office, but he's on his last week. If you die, dun dun dun, a missing persons report will be filed within 90 days or as soon as property and premises have been thoroughly cleaned and bleached and the carpets have been replaced. Yeah, can't have any evidence. Yeah, that sounds like a completely normal thing to say. Number 2 that we learned from Phone Guy. If I were forced to sing those same stupid songs for 20 years and I never got a bath, why haven't these animatronics been cleaned? Wait, how does one clean an animatronic? I would assume with like Clorox wipes. I don't know. I don't know how to clean an animatronic. What up, Betty boy? Yes, we are reading FNAF. Actually more entertaining than I thought. Let's go. Just wait until we get into the juicy lore. Like, we're still just learning the gameplay elements. Well, yeah, this is mostly lore, but we will learn the gameplay elements of FNAF 1 as well. I think on the next page. Number 3, the animatronic servos lock up if they get turned off for too long. The animatronics used to be allowed to walk around during the day, but that was before the bite of 87. This is all true. Apparently, someone had a daytime running with an animatronic and lost his or her frontal lobe, but survived. So that is the original security guard from FNAF 2. In FNAF 2, you play as 2 different security guards. Fritz Smith, you play on the bonus night, and that's an alias for Michael Afton. But the original character you play as is... Ooh, I'm testing my knowledge here. Who do you play as in FNAF 2 at first? It's not another Michael name, is it? Who do you play as? I know Fritz Smith is the 6th night, or the bonus night. Shoot, who did you play as in FNAF 2? I don't remember. We'll get there. It'll tell us when we get to the FNAF 2 page. But whoever that was is who got bit by, I think, Foxy in the bite of 87. Mike Schmidt? Is it actually Mike? No, it's not Mike. Wait, is Mike... No, Mike Schmidt is FNAF 1. Mike Schmidt's FNAF 1. We play as Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, we play as Arnold in Secret of the Mimic, though. I heard somewhere that creator FNAF made the game to support his fam, and the game obviously blew up. Oh, dope. Do you not know the history, the origin of the first FNAF game? So, Scott Cawthon, developer of the entire series of FNAF, he was a failing game developer. He made a couple of dinky games that nobody liked. And then he made, I think Chipper and Sons was the last game he made before FNAF. It was either that or The Desolate Hope. One of the two was the final game he made before FNAF. But that final game he made got horrible reviews. People didn't like the gameplay. They said his character designs were creepy and almost looked like robots. So he's like, all right, you guys already think my designs look creepy. I'm gonna make one more game and then I'm quitting game design forever. And he made Five Nights at Freddy's and then it became a cult classic and he's a multimillionaire now. It's incredible. I figured you were joking, Lulbin Enjoyer. On-screen chat. Yeah, don't worry about the on-screen chat delay. There's nothing I can do about that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, but moving on. Number 4. Since the animatronics will see you as a metal endoskeleton without its costume on. Is that a star? Oh, there's an asterisk. Okay. Without its costume on, they try to stuff you into a Freddy Fazbear suit. Yikes! So let's avoid that death. And it says, Phone Guy's endoskeleton explanation doesn't add up. Bonnie often enters the backstage, sees the costumeless endoskeleton sitting on the table, and never tries to put a costume on it. Okay, so it's calling out its own inaccuracies, because I guess in the, what does it say, the storage closet? No, backstage. Backstage, you do see Bonnie in that camera from time to time, and there are parts there, so yeah, they're calling out their own inaccuracies, but let's move on, let's move on. So now we're starting to get into the gameplay elements a little bit of FNAF 1. Oh, my phone went to sleep. So you can see they've got the whole map over here. If I turn it like this, it'll be a little easier for you guys to see. This shows the entire like gameplay loop of FNAF 1. And I'll go back and read that other page in a second, but it shows like where they start on the stage and each movement path every type of animatronic can take. It's cool that you also see exactly where in the rooms they're standing. But you know, Chica can go to the kitchen. Is Freddy in the kitchen too? Oh yeah, that's right. Freddy does go to the kitchen. And then Freddy only ever goes to your right door. It's very interesting. So everything on here, it says mapping the animatronics and special events. I don't know what special events it's referring to. But on the 1A camera, you've got the show stage. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica start from here. The dining area, you've got camera 1B. Chica and Bonnie appear here. Freddy can be. It just says Freddy can be. What? Why does it just say Freddy can be? Is that like not a complete sentence? That's weird. Okay, moving on. Check the cameras frequently for a better chance of preventing Foxy from moving. That is true. Number 5, you got the backstage camera. What does that even say? Is that terrifying? Oh my god, some of these words are hard to read. That says terrifying disembodied animatronic heads. Wow. I don't know if it's just me or the font, but this is hard to read. Is that hard to read for you guys too? Here, I'll move it over. Terrifying disembodied animatronic heads. I had a lot of trouble reading that one. As if Freddy can be there. It says Chica and Bonnie appear here. So why wouldn't it just say Chica, Bonnie, and Freddy can appear here? Why does it say Freddy can be by himself? That just, I don't know, it seems weird. Appreciate that you're reading this even though you don't like it that much. Yeah, it's the public speaking, and I definitely remember the last times I've read like a lot of dialogue, like Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, nothing but dialogue, or the time we read the FNAF interactive novel. My throat was sore by the end of those streams because I don't talk that much and that consistently. You know, when you're reading a book, you're consistently talking the whole time. Chica and Bonnie 100% yes, but Freddy can be. I guess that's true. There's a 100% chance, but 1, 2, 3. Oh, does he have multiple paths? Oh, no. Freddy goes 1, 2, 3. You guys can't see everything I'm doing because I'm zoomed in. I know Freddy moves like 5 times before he gets to your office. So Freddy can move from the stage 1 to the kitchen 2 to, oh no, the kitchen is 6. That's the restrooms. 3, 4, 5. So I don't know why they would say Freddy can be here. Freddy will 100% always go there. Freddy cannot move to his next location unless he goes to his first one. So this doesn't make sense. I don't know why they wouldn't say Freddy could 100% go there, but whatever, we move on. We got the Pirate Cove camera 1C. Used to keep an eye on Foxy, but keep your right door closed if Freddy is active. Yes, so that's actually a really good tip. And something I learned, I think Revered told me this tip when we played FNAF 1, but once Freddy makes it down here to right outside your office, you cannot open the cameras unless your door is shut. If you ever open the cameras when your door is open and Freddy is already out here, you're dead. 100%. Can't escape that. Moving on, we got the supply closet, camera 3. Only Bonnie appears here. And you've got the West Hall corner, camera 2B, directly outside the office door. East Hall corner, camera 4B, most important camera in FNAF. That is interesting. That is interesting. I guess it's the most important because Chica can be in multiple locations. I don't understand what this means. Where can Chica go? Chica can move backwards from here. Oh, okay. So only Freddy and Chica can come from this side, but Foxy and Bonnie can come from the left side. So I don't know why this one is the most important, but I guess it's because there's 2 locations in the hallway that Chica and Freddy can be. And if you get Chica here and drive her back, she goes all the way back to the main dining hall. So that's good. She goes all the way back to camera 1B. I leave for 2 seconds to come back to this. I don't know what you left and came back to. All right, what else we have? We have the restroom camera. Freddy and Chica pass through here, and then the kitchen. No visuals, but there is sound, and that is where it's theorized Golden Freddy resides, because you can't see him anywhere. He just randomly teleports. Mario music. This is not befitting of our current theme. Where's the skip button? Oh my god, the YouTube UI is like super laggy right now. I don't know why. My computer's not lagging, but YouTube sure is. Mario Paint, sure. We'll leave that on. Okay. So that's all the cameras and where everyone can go. We didn't read the first page here, though. Gameplay and strategy guide. Interesting. So, with your accessories like the light and fan running by default, the minimum power usage is 1 block of power at any time. Closing each door takes 1 block of power usage. Checking the cameras uses 1 block of power. Using either hall light uses 1 block or more. You can't turn the lights on together, I don't think. But the lights will automatically shut off when you go into the cameras. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. You start each night with 99.9% power. Yo, what is that? Why don't you start with 100% power? That's bullshit. A deduction of 0.1% of your power is done per block of power being used per second. There's also power leakage starting on night 2, which gets worse until it peaks on night 5. Oh, so you just lose more power in the future nights just for it simply existing. That's crazy. That's crazy. Also, Math Man? Oh, that's funny. People doing the math to figure it all out. So night 2, your leakage frequency is every 6 seconds, and that goes down by 1 second every night. So night 3 is 5 seconds, night 4 is 4 seconds, etc. Total amount of leakage per night goes from 8.9% all the way up to 17.8% at night 5. So it definitely gets a lot harder at night 5. And then over here it says you can make 5 power bars appear by closing both doors, turning on a light, and flipping open the security cameras quickly. But the 5th bar only appears for a split second since you can't have the lights and the security cameras open at the same time. Cool little tidbit. I don't think I actually knew that. Anything else? Yes. Oh, we got the AI levels for each animatronic. Oh my god. This is like in depth. This is really in depth. So night 1 and 2, Freddy has 0 AI. And actually, I just recently learned Freddy was never supposed to have AI. In the original concept for this game, Scott Cawthon had it so Freddy only ever stayed on the stage and stared at you. He was not interactive. The only time Freddy killed you is if you ran out of power and everything went black. Then Freddy killed you. But he changed it like less than a month from release and added Freddy in from night 3 onward. Very, very interesting. And then the colors signify something else. Oh, so they get harder throughout the night, apparently. The colors mean they get harder throughout the night. I'm gonna move over a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of AI levels to this. Welcome in Fishbro and Andrew. Welcome to the dojo. So Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy all have varying AI levels. They progressively get harder as the night continues. Every single night. So even on night 1, at 12 a.m., nobody's active. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy are all in their areas where they start and they stay there. Bonnie, though, by the time you get to 4 a.m. is AI level 3. Chica's AI level 2 by 4 a.m. and Foxy is level 2 as well. It's interesting. None of them update at 2 a.m. on night 1, but they do update at 3 and 4 a.m. So they get harder as you go through the night. But for instance, Bonnie goes from 3 AI to 4 AI at 2 a.m. on night 2 instead of at 3 a.m. So a lot of nuances to this. I'm very surprised by how nuanced this is. And then over here, what do we have? For each animatronic, there are checks at regular time intervals to see if an animatronic will move or not. The AI level plays into the likelihood of the animatronic moving. Every movement check involves a random number drawn between 1 and 20. If the AI level is greater than or equal to the number drawn, the animatronic will move. AI increases for everyone during the night except for Freddy. His AI remains constant, but even if you start a night with all zeros, like night 1, by 2 a.m. Bonnie can move. Just because an animatronic is off at the start doesn't mean it won't turn on at a later point in the night. And then it gives you their move check intervals. So Bonnie potentially moves every slightly less than 5 seconds. Chica's about the same with 1/100 of a second difference. They're all relatively the same. Foxy is every 5.01 seconds, but there's an asterisk. And Freddy's every 3 seconds. Foxy's advancement is also affected by how recently you check the camera, with leniency randomly determined between 0.83 and 17.5 seconds. Is that a period? Oh, I thought it was a comma for a second. So Foxy's just a caveat there, but all of them relatively move within about 5-second intervals except for Freddy. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, moving on. We are now into the animatronics section. So obviously we've got Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Freddy. Those are our core 4. I'm surprised Golden Freddy is not on this page here. Then we've got things like Chica. No, that's Bonnie in backstage, Bonnie at the door. You guys can't see that fully. Bonnie in backstage, Bonnie at the door. That's Foxy running down the hallway. We also have Chica in the doorway. We've got Chica in the 4B camera. I think that's the supply closet. No, that's Bonnie in the supply closet. I don't know what camera that is. And then the show stage with all 3 of them. Oh, there's Golden Freddy. We got Golden Freddy over here. Codes, glitches, and secrets are on this page, so we'll get to that in a sec. Yo, what up, bro? Welcome back. The more you check the camera, the more Foxy movement. No. The more you check the camera, the less frequent Foxy will move. Foxy will have less of a chance of moving. Got an added it with the new FNAF trailer. Oh, it's so good, bro. I'm so ready for it. That's great that we're getting FNAF trailers on a FNAF stream. I'm seeing the FNAF movie Thursday night. So on Friday's stream, I will give all of you my spoiler-free review. I hope you're excited for it. But let's read up about these animatronics here. So Bonnie is most likely to be the first animatronic that you'll see at an office door. Bonnie is the only character who appears in backstage, supply closet, and West Hall corner. There's a lot of cameras that Bonnie has all for himself. What up, mate? Is animation? Welcome on in. Welcome to the dojo. Oh, same, bro. I'm gonna lose my mind with this movie. Chica sticks to the right side of the restaurant. Chica and Freddy are the only animatronics who enter the kitchen. You can't see them, but you can hear them clanging. You can hear the clanging of pots and pans. Chica's cupcake disappears when she leaves the show stage, although a duplicate cupcake can be sitting on your desk in the office. Foxy at the start of the night. Foxy is always behind the curtain. However, when he resets after an unsuccessful attempt, there's a chance the curtain is slightly open. As the night goes on, he peeks out more until he is entirely revealed. He'll attack from the left in a matter of seconds unless you close the door in time. After an unsuccessful attack, okay, my bad, read that wrong. After an unsuccessful attack, Foxy returns to Pirate Cove to begin the cycle again. Every time he's blocked by the door, he drains the player's power. 1% the first time, then an additional 5% every time thereafter. I was not aware Foxy drained that much power. That's kind of crazy. Liam, welcome on in. I'm a huge FNAF fan as well. Welcome to the dojo. And then we've got Freddy, 6 of the shadows and can be hard to spot on the monitor, so look for his glowing silver eyes. Oh, I didn't even know you could spot him with that. Watching Freddy on the cameras will stall his movements, but if you move your camera, prepare to be stuffed inside an animatronic suit. Freddy doesn't move until night 3 unless you run out of power. And moving on to codes, glitches, and secrets. Hold down C, D, and plus to skip a night. Oh, yeah, a lot of people have already figured that one out. That's like developer glitches, the developer codes. Click on the poster in the office to honk Freddy's nose. You can do that in just about every single game. Try changing the date on your computer to October 31st and booting up the game. Is there a special thing in FNAF 1 for Halloween? Wait, I didn't know that. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna make a list of things that we need to test after this. Let me bring up a notepad really quick. FNAF 1 boot up on Halloween. That's crazy. I never knew that was a thing. Okay, moving on. Going on a bear hunt. In the West Hall corner, camera 2B is a poster of Freddy, which has a very small chance of changing. Oh, yes. Okay, we did know about those posters. That's not that poster. 2B. This one down here. Hang on. This one has a chance of showing Freddy's face in the posters. But it has a very small chance of changing. This poster becomes a close-up of Freddy's face, but his fur is golden. Wait, that would be the other camera then. His fur is not golden in the photo I just showed you guys. Weird. Okay. There aren't any eyes in his mask. Once the poster changes, drop the monitor and an empty animatronic suit, Golden Freddy, will appear in the office alongside flashes of "It's me." Seeing him will cause the game to crash, but you can avoid this by bringing up the monitor again quickly. I actually didn't know that the first time I encountered Golden Freddy, but you can survive an encounter, which is pretty cool. The office has Halloween decorations. Dang, that's cool. I want to check that out for sure. You know how I make music? Well, the next time I make a piece of music, it's going to be dedicated to you. Aw, that's so nice of you, Archie. Thank you. I look forward to seeing it. Me and my friends are trying out an Archipelago randomizer. I can't do much until my friends do stuff in their games. Yeah, I've never done Archipelago stuff yet, Pro, but it looks like a lot of fun. Which games are you guys playing? Where did I buy this from? I got it from Barnes & Noble's. Barnes & Noble. Okay, you can also trigger Golden Freddy by inputting 1987 on the custom night. You won't see the scene of the empty animatronic suit in the office, though. You'll just get jump scared. Or you'll get the game crash. So, little 1987, what is it? Easter egg. Okay, and then show stage 1A. This secret screen can only be found in the game files. What? Wait, I didn't know that. This picture of the animatronics looking straight at the camera is only in the game files. Can we focus? I didn't know that image was only in the game files. I thought that was directly in game too. Apparently it's not. Apparently you can never get an image of the animatronics looking straight at you. I thought you could. That's super creepy. Maybe that's in the trailer too. That might be in the trailer. Perhaps. Focus. Focus. There we go. West Hall corner 2B poster changes to an image of Freddy ripping his head apart. Wait, what? You know what? This paragraph up here that was talking about the picture of just Golden Freddy's head, it says camera 2B. It meant to say camera 5. I think that's a mistake. I think we already found a mistake on page 11 of the book. It did not take us long to find a mistake. That's crazy. Okay, but it says down here, backstage camera 5. All the parts in backstage turn toward the camera, including the endoskeleton. Oh, wait, this is backstage. Wait, what? I think it has... There's 2 things labeled backstage. Something's not right here. This is parts and service. Maybe it's all backstage, but then this is not backstage. So something's marked incorrectly here. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something incorrect on page 11. We're gonna move on. Now we're at lore and theories. I think this is the end of FNAF 1. Not quite yet. We have 2 more pages. Okay. So we're on fan theories here. Let me know if you guys can't see anything anywhere. It is also in the trailer. I knew it, Anastasia. I knew that image of all the animatronics looking dead straight at you was in the trailer. Because if it's not in the game, it had to be somewhere. That would explain why it's in the game files. Because obviously Scott used it for the trailer. Bro, you're playing in your archipelago, Stardew Valley, Pokemon Emerald, Hollow Knight, Osu. How do you do Osu in that? Isn't Osu just a rhythm game? Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Very interesting. Very interesting. I saw Smant and crew did like a 7-game archipelago randomizer. It looked intense. It looked like a lot of people were done very early and then were just sitting there wasting time. Like they had nothing else to do. Where am I streaming right now? I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. I'm always multi-streaming. All right, I'm trying to get rid of this like glare here so we can read this page. What if I just do this? There we go. Okay, lore and theories. We're on the local news here. Can we focus a little bit, please? Thank you. Local news. Local pizzeria said to close by year's end after a long struggle to stay in business. After the tragedy that took place there many years ago, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has announced that it will close by year's end. Despite a year-long search for a buyer, companies seem unwilling to be associated with the company. These characters will live on. In the hearts of kids, these characters will live on. The CEO. So that must have come from a quote from William Afton. So that's an actual newspaper clipping in the game. I think that happens after you beat the game. That they close down? I'm not sure. Well, there's a bunch of different newspaper clippings on this page. Because this is the whole lore and theories page. But, focus, please. There we go. Fan theories, the MCI, missing children incident. Oh, it doesn't say incident, it just says missing children, but MCI. If you really want to dig into the story of the game, keep an eye on the East Hall corner where the rules for safety will change to a series of newspaper clippings that reveal the horrific secrets lurking at the heart of this game. Kids vanish at local pizzeria, bodies not found. That's this newspaper clipping here. It says, move it up. 2 local children were reportedly lured into a back room during the late hours of operation at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza on the night of June 26th. While video surveillance identified the man responsible and led to his capture the following morning, the children themselves were never found and are presumed dead. Police think that the suspect dressed as a company mascot to earn the children's trust. Okay, wait, if this is true, that they captured them the following morning, that would mean Afton got arrested for the MCI. I didn't think anyone got arrested for that. I thought he got away with it. So maybe that's the retcon that Scott made. Like, who knows what the official retcon is, you know? The next one we have is 5 children now reported missing, suspect convicted. That's on the next page. That's over here. Focus. 5 children now reported missing, suspect convicted. 5 children are now linked to the incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where a man dressed as a cartoon mascot lured them into the back room. While the suspect has been charged, the bodies themselves were never found. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has been fighting an uphill battle ever since to convince families to return to the pizzeria. It's a tragedy. Can't get anyone back because you killed kids. What a shocker that is. God, do you see the glare over here from the box? It's so awkward. Got stream open on 2 devices. Let's go. Archie's supporting us like crazy right now. You watch that too? Yeah, it seemed like people were getting stuck on that. Like some people finish their game so early. Osu is a rhythm game. It gives you a song 1 to 5. It gives you songs 1 through 5. You have to download and play them, and then other people unlock songs and Osu can play. Oh, okay. So for Osu, you don't have all the songs unlocked. Got it. But when you complete the songs, you unlock items for other people. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. What was our next one? We were on the last one, I think. No, we were on the 3rd one. Local pizzeria threatened with shutdown over sanitation. We're about to read that one. Then local pizzeria said to close by year's end. We already did read, but let's read that last newspaper clipping. It says, I hate that this doesn't autofocus. I don't know why it's not. Local pizzeria threatened with shutdown over sanitation. Local pizzeria Freddy Fazbear's Pizza has been threatened again with shutdown by the health department over reports of foul odor coming from the much-loved animal mascots. Police were contacted when parents reportedly noticed that what appeared to be blood and mucus around the eyes and mouths of the mascots. One parent likened them to reanimated carcasses. Yeah, I think we found the bodies, but nobody wants to actually check. All right, and then we've got some more here. 5 children were apparently lured to a back room by someone who wore a mascot costume to gain the kids' trust. A suspect was arrested and charged, but the bodies of the children were never found and they were presumed dead. Shortly thereafter, customers complained of odors and reported seeing blood and mucus around the eyes and mouths of the animatronics, implying that the children's bodies were stuffed inside Freddy and his friends. This matches Phone Guy's words from night 1. If you were to be stuffed inside a suit, the only parts of you that would likely see the light of day again would be your eyeballs and teeth. They would pop out the front of the mask, or when they pop out the front of the mask, which is actually a thing we see when you die in FNAF 1. Your game over screen is your eyes and teeth popping out the mask of the animatronic that you've been stuffed into. It's kind of funny. One thing seems certain, the animatronics themselves have been possessed by the spirits of the dead children looking for revenge. Oh, and then you can see, that's the puppet, right? It's like a crying child, but it's got the same tear stains that the puppet would have, even though the puppet did not exist until the next game, so we're not there yet. Skyward Sword is annoying because I have to wait for other people to progress so I can progress. Well, that's just how Archipelago works. It's pretty much how it works. We've got some more stuff here. Another rare screen in East Hall. The 4A camera, I think that says. Shows the posters replaced with images of crying children. Okay, so it does say they're crying children. It doesn't really say that they're the puppet, because the puppet doesn't exist. One tragedy of many. In the years since the original game, it's been established that the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, where FNAF takes place, is just one of many franchise locations, and its horrific murders were far from an outlier. Fans have instead directed their efforts toward identifying why this location was special and when its murders may have occurred in the timeline. Why was the FNAF 1 location special? I feel like we still don't even know, because right, there's so many different locations, and nowadays people are coming up with a theory that they all take place in the same spot. Not that they're all the same restaurant, but all of the restaurants take place on the same plot of land. So like the MCM factory from Secret of the Mimic is there. Fall Fest gets hosted on that property at one point or another. Maybe not every year, but at one point. Fredbear's Family Diner is there. FNAF 1 is there. The Pizzaplex is there. FNAF 6 is there. Sister Location is underneath because the MCM facility becomes Secret of the Sister Location. Like, there's just so much. But that is like a lot of the current theories I've seen, that most of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise locations all happen on the same plot of land. Most, not all, most. So it's a pretty interesting theory. All right, what do we got on the next page? We've got fan theories and lingering questions. Ooh, that's interesting. I like that. Okay, so fan theories. Zoom in here a bit for you. Why is there, what the? There's a handprint on, oh, you know what? I think I knew about that. There is a faded handprint on Freddy's mask. So I know it was the kids. Okay, the Bite of 87. Phone Guy mentioned the Bite of 87, in which someone was attacked by an animatronic and lost their frontal lobe. This event is why the animatronic's movements are restricted during the day. But questions still remain around which animatronic committed the bite, whether an employee or a child was bitten, and what connection, if any, the bite has to events of FNAF 4. Okay, so they literally just said in a previous page that it was an employee. It was the night guard before you, wasn't it? I think that's who they said it was. So it was an employee. And I think current fan theories say that Foxy did it. I think current fan theories say that Foxy did the Bite of 87. Why he has a hand? That's a children's handprint on his mask. Just like further proving that the kids were stuffed in these suits. I don't know. What up, Sarah? Welcome on into the dojo. Okay, and then we have, why is Foxy out of order? FNAF is the first time we meet Foxy, and while Pirates Cove may be out of order, it's clear that Foxy, well, isn't. Other games and stories depict Foxy in various states of repair or disrepair for fans to speculate over. Some point to Help Wanted, where you ultimately repair him while dodging his sharp hook and jerky movements, as evidence that Foxy is definitely unsafe for kids. Still, others look to Foxy Go 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 minigame in FNAF 2. See page 31, so we'll get there eventually. For those who don't know, FNAF, the Foxy Go 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 minigame in FNAF 2 is where Foxy comes off his stage in one room where the purple man is standing next to him, purple guy. Then you walk into the other room and there's 5 happy children cheering and happy. And then you go again and they're cheering and happy. And then you go again and they're dead. That's the Foxy Go 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 meeting or minigame. Greetings, Sensei. Hello, hello. Welcome to the dojo. Okay, so they still others look to the Foxy Go 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 minigame in FNAF 2. Oh, that was a period. Okay. Was an out of order sign and a functional animatronic the perfect way to lure kids to an isolated area? Or was Foxy decommissioned because, per the gameplay around Withered Foxy in FNAF 2, he isn't fooled by a person in an animatronic suit? Interesting theories. So yeah, that's true. The Freddy mask doesn't work on Withered Foxy in FNAF 2. I think he's the only one that doesn't work on. You have to just like spam your flashlight on Foxy to get rid of him. And then we've got It's Me over here. Another mystery that kept the fandom talking in FNAF. In FNAF, it appears in various hallucinations on the Pirate Cove out of order sign. Oh, I didn't know It's Me could appear on the Pirate's Cove. Excuse me. I didn't know that could appear on the sign. I did know the random text appearing. That's known. That's very known. And then on the posters where those crying children are, it can also say it. That one I knew as well. Excuse me. Sorry, I keep burping. Okay. So it can appear on the out of order sign, in the east hallways with Golden Freddy's appearance, and in game flashes as early as night 1. To make it even more confusing, it seems to be used by different characters. So yeah, this has been thrown into question recently, especially with the newest interactive novel. What was it, the week before? Maybe that's not the newest one, but the week before interactive novel shows how Ralph, the phone guy, was seeing or hearing It's Me hallucinations from other animatronics as well. So I don't think it'll touch on that here, but we'll see. It might. No, it does. It actually does. Okay, so it says Caesar images for FNAF 4 ask, was it me? Implying the phrase could be tied to one of the animatronic bites. The Curse of Dreadbear DLC features an Easter egg that turns the whole prize screen purple, complete with a banner that says it's me. Okay, this one was actually contested for a very long time. I know this was in an old game theory video from MatPat about the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, but he was never able to confirm whether it was a hoax or whether it was true, because it was like wildly rare to get that screen. You had to like throw 3 darts on clown posters, and I think not every time they spawn as clown posters. I don't know. Very, very rare, but that is a true thing that was in the game. So Curse of Dreadbear has some connection to It's Me, and I think people were just saying how Curse of Dreadbear and Golden Freddy connect, and that has something to do with the crying child. I don't know exactly what that is, but I do know in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, you see Dreadbear emerge from a red lake. And where do we know a red lake from? Old Man Consequences, FNAF World. Also, technically, if you really want to get technical, like the underground cave that Cassie goes to in FNAF Ruin, I think that might connect to it as well. I don't know, but I'm getting super technical with it now. So we also see It's Me in the Silver Eyes novel. It's Me is connected to the souls of the missing children inside the animatronics when the ghost of Michael tells Carlton, I have no idea who Carlton is, I've never read the books, it's him inside the animatronic. And in the week before the interactive novel, It's Me is used multiple times, possibly shedding new light on its meaning. So that's the biggest one. That's the newest thing that we've gotten It's Me from. And there's definitely meaning from it, but what that points to is a little confusing, because there's a lot of characters other than Golden Freddy that use It's Me in that book. So it makes the lore a lot more confusing around that. But then we also have lore on Mike Schmidt. We have his paycheck here too. Let me zoom out a little bit. Here we go. Okay, Mike Schmidt. When you receive your paycheck at the close of night 5, you'll learn that your name is Mike Schmidt. Many have speculated that Mike isn't just some security guard off the street. In FNAF, playing through to night 7 gets Mike fired for tampering with the animatronics. The animatronics AI, referring to Custom Night, which could imply that Mike has knowledge of the animatronics. Fans have also pointed out that he shares a first name with Mike from FNAF 4, who seems to be Michael Afton. And Mike, the owner of the survival logbook. Okay, the survival log. Oh, sorry, you can read that. The survival logbook is definitely Mike Afton. And then during the fade transition screens, hit Alt F4 to skip those transitions and save a few frames. But be careful, if your timing isn't right, you'll just close the game. What? Wait, what? What is that? Wouldn't Alt F4 close the game regardless? During the fade transition screens, hit Alt F4 to skip those transitions and save a few frames. What? There's no way that's a real thing. I'm looking that up. There's no shot that's a real thing. What the heck? What up, Puppet Shadow? Welcome on into the dojo. Alt F4 FNAF 1. How to skip in FNAF 1 to world? Wait, does this skip work on all the FNAF games? What? Hang on a second. FNAF 1. Boop Bonnie's nose for free V-Bucks? That's false. Hang on. This is fake. Is this Scott trolling? I think this is just Scott trolling. I feel like that's a massive troll. You guys can't see what I'm pointing to. I definitely feel like that's Scott trolling. Like, it's gotta be. It's gotta be, right? There is a YouTube video that popped up when I typed this in. So let me go to the YouTube video and see what it is. There's no way this is real. No description on this video. It's from 2022 also. It's not original. What the heck? Is it all the transition screens? I don't get it. Here, you guys, I have the video muted because I don't know what's going to be said in it, but if I do this, you guys can see what's on my screen. Nope. 1 second. Wait, you guys should be able to see that. That's the wrong one. Weird. I guess with my current setup, it's not capturing my monitor correctly. Just do this. Yeah, that should have worked. There we go. I don't know why that didn't work before. Okay. I have this video here. Fade skip risks. Oh, okay. He's talking about the risks of it. I don't know why the YouTube UI is being so laggy right now. He's definitely hitting Alt F4 there, or he's about to. You can see the keyboard in the bottom left. Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess there is a skip there. Interesting. Very interesting. You can skip some of the faded screens in FNAF 1. I don't know if that works in every other FNAF game, but it works in some of them. Yeah, why is Chrome being so unbelievably laggy? I don't get it. It's not, my CPU is not even at max usage. It's so weird. Very strange. Alt F4 makes your game force close. No, I know that, but apparently for FNAF 1, it doesn't. Apparently for FNAF 1, it's like kind of tame. You know what? Let's lower this. Oh, it's already at 480p. This should not be an issue. Weird. Chrome's being very, very weird. Just gonna ignore it. As long as the stream's not lagging, I don't care. I don't care. UI is laggy for you as well? Maybe it's not just me then. Okay, but that was all from Mike Schmidt. This is very interesting though. I don't know if we'll get a chance to test that because I'll probably mistime it. But we are on to Chapter 2, FNAF 2, the upcoming movie. Hope y'all are excited for this movie. Quick note that Freddy is canonically defying gravity. Defying gravity. Is he really? How is he defying gravity in FNAF 1? Oh, Carrot, you're gonna load up FNAF 1 and test it? Is FNAF 1 free? I don't remember. You should totally test it. I dare you to, Carrot. We're gonna read up on FNAF 2 here. God, I hate this glare. All right, FNAF 2. You guys want me to zoom so you can read as well? That's a little better. Don't have the game? Yeah, you can get it. It costs $143. There you go. It's super cheap, Carrot. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The terror continues in FNAF 2, a game that pushed many players to the limit in terms of multitasking. Yes, there is a lot here to manage. No kidding. It's like the worst game in the franchise. And that's putting it mildly. Even 11 animatronics roam the floor looking to kill you, not to mention the other 4 animatronics that are apparently just there to populate your nightmares. There to populate your nightmares, the 4 animatronics. What are the 4 he's referring to? Golden Freddy? Are there 2 Golden? No, I think they're just Withered Golden Freddy. The 2 Shadow animatronics and the puppet? I don't know if that's referring to the puppet. Plus, there's a frighteningly long list of to-dos. Keep the music box wound, keep the vents clear, strobe the flashlight in Foxy's direction. More animatronics now have a set of unique instructions similar to Foxy from FNAF 1. So there are plenty of details to juggle. Also new to FNAF 2 are the death minigames. These are random. It is a random chance whether they will pop up or not. The death minigames that are triggered with jump scares. Each minigame has a creepiness factor off the charts and has spawned a flurry of theories about the rapidly expanding mystery at the heart of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. The game is also chock full of new revelations from Phone Guy, like the 2 additional Freddy's locations, which would be Fredbear's Family Diner and then the precursor to FNAF 1. So before the FNAF 2 location. Oh yeah, one of which he calls Fredbear's Family Diner, the seeming origins of the franchise, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start with night 1. Man, I want to get ahead of ourselves. I want to learn all this. Can you enlarge it? Is it not big enough for y'all? Do you need it bigger? From what we can see in the understage in the Silver Eyes book. Oh, I've never read Silver Eyes. I don't know anything about this understage. We learned the material, size, and density of the stage from Freddy's weight. We can see that would be able to handle Bonnie and Chica, but not Freddy. Wait, what? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Kanemio. I've never read Silver Eyes before. Spring Bonnie is golden? No. Yes, sorry. Spring Bonnie is golden. Spring Trap is not because he's old and decrepit. The Spring Bonnie, yes. The golden Bonnie, that Spring Bonnie is gold. Yes, that is true. That is true. Moving on to the second page here. We've got the Freddy Scoop. This is another poster straight from the game. There's also some clippings back here. Oh, wait. Hello. Hello. You know what? These are back here. These are the transcripts of the Phone Guy's calls. That's what those are. That's actually sick. I wish we could read them all. In other words, Bonnie and Chica are able to be on the stage, but adding Freddy would break the stage itself. What does that have to do with the lore? I don't know what that means. Okay. The Freddy Scoop. We meet again, Phone Guy. Can probably zoom a little more for you guys here. Sounds like Phone Guy is still alive, so this game likely takes place before the events of the last one. This is true. This takes place in 87? Yeah, the Missing Children's incident is 85. This game takes place in 87. YouTube is having issues according to Down Detector. Oh, so it's not just me. Their UI is just shit. I thought there was something going on. Oh, you're referring to the Defying Gravity message. I understand. Bonnie and Chica are able to be on the stage, but adding Freddy would break the stage itself. Therefore, Freddy is canonically defying gravity. Okay, I like that theory. And not only because he got me to sing Defying Gravity from Wicked, which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen, you should totally go see the movie. I have not seen the second movie yet, but I have seen the original musical on Broadway. So if you haven't seen Wicked Part 1 or Part 2, do yourself a favor this December. Go watch both of them. One of them you can stream, one of them you can go to the movies to see. If I could have become a member, I would love if everyone could become a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber. But if you guys don't have the money to spare, that's totally fine. Just being here and hanging out with me is more than enough. Just don't read the Book of Wicked. I have not read the Book of Wicked. I don't know the differences between the book and the musical, so I probably won't read it. We'll stick to reading Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, that or Phone Guy is immortal. Once again, you're working as a security guard on the midnight to 6 a.m. shift for Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, but the layout of the place is completely different, and there are no doors, because why would a security office need doors? And here's what Phone Guy reveals. Something bad happened at the old location, which could be Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the first location, or Fredbear's Family Diner. They're probably referring to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, though. We're getting lyrics in our music. I thought we were just doing, I love this song, but I thought we were just doing instrumentals right now. We're gonna skip. I didn't expect there to be lyrics. Okay, continuing on. Something very bad happened at the old location, so Fazbear Entertainment spent a lot of money on their new animatronics, including facial recognition systems that interface with criminal databases. The animatronics weren't programmed with a proper night mode, so they wander around looking for people. As a temporary solution, a music box has been placed in the prize counter. Its music should keep one of the animatronics at bay, so that is the puppet, which I don't even know if the puppet can be considered an animatronic. I think it's just a marionette. I got one book of the roll Springtrap in the ball pit. Into the Pit? You're talking about Into the Pit? If I could become a member, speedruns becoming a Dojo Squad legend. That's the highest tier we got. You want to become a Dojo Squad legend, you get your name in a special color at the end of every video, and you guys get access to early videos. You can do that for 10 bucks a month. I spent a tiny bit of money on every FNAF book. That is a lot. This is the one and only FNAF book I own, and I got it early. I did get this last week, but I knew I wasn't going to read it until today, because today is the day it legally is out for sale. So, no breaking the law here. If anything, Barnes & Noble broke the law by selling it early. Number 3, you've been supplied with an empty Freddy Fazbear head to wear as a mask. When you wear it, any animatronic that comes into the office will see you. Think you're one of them and wander back out again. So we're actually gonna see this gameplay mechanic make its way into the movie this week when what's his name? Josh Hutcherson is gonna hold a giant Freddy Fazbear mask to hide himself from these animatronics. I'm so excited to see that. I wonder if he'll actually have to wind up a music box at any point. I don't care if it's like a one-off gag that he has to do and then it never happens again in the movie. If we see him forced to wind a music box at some point, my life will be complete. Number 4, the Freddy head won't work on Foxy, unfortunately, but shining your flashlight on him should make him go away. We did learn that about Foxy when we read about his character earlier. The building lights will never run out of power, but the flashlight will. Oh, that's right. The flashlight does run out of power. That sucks. I forget if the flashlight is able to come back on or if it's like, if there's a cooldown period or if it actually just runs out of power. Then I gotta move the book. Ooh, don't open things, please. Pressing keys on my computer. Number 5, the building lights will never run out of power. We read that. 6, the old animatronics are sitting creepily in the back room, but they're now used for spare parts. These look like the animatronics from FNAF, but they're not exactly the same. Check the animatronics inventory for specifics. So the animatronics inventory is at the very end of the book. We will do that later. It would be amazing to see Josh and Sister Location sit there and wait ages for someone to go on a rant about being free. No, I've played all the games. Kanemio, I've at this point, I've played all the games except for Ultimate Custom Night, and I haven't played the Curse of Dreadbear DLC, but I know all of the lore, so you can't spoil anything in FNAF for me. Please, talk about anything and everything FNAF in chat. You do not have to worry about spoilers here. But yeah, that would be funny. If they did a Sister Location adaptation, I don't know exactly how they'd go about that, because there's a lot of long monologues there, especially from Baby, but that would be cool. Okay, as you've come to expect from FNAF, things tend to unravel quickly. On night 4, we learn the restaurant is being investigated and may need to close temporarily, as someone seems to have tampered with the animatronics' facial recognition systems. On night 5, the restaurant is put on lockdown, with no one allowed in or out, especially prior employees, Mr. William Afton. Moving on, we've got, I think just more of the Freddy scoop. We've got more of these sections here. So coming up on the end of night hallucinations. Oh, right. Wait, these are hallucinations? Oh, I guess they are. Let's read this and then I'll talk about my speculations. This is talking about in between nights when you're just like inside the Freddy mask and you can look around and see Chica and Bonnie on stage with you, but that's it. And then sometimes you see the puppet in front of you. If you've not played UCN, you're missing a bit of lore. No, I've seen Ultimate Custom Night. I've just never played it. As a kid, I had a MacBook, so I couldn't play any of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. I couldn't play like basically anything on Steam. But now as an adult, I've got a PC and I've gone back and downloaded all these games. So even though I haven't played Ultimate Custom Night yet, I still know all of the lore. Trust me. I watched Dawko complete 50/20 mode. Slightly unrelated, at what age do imaginary friends turn into schizophrenia? That's a good question. I don't know. It depends. Is it schizophrenia, or are you just seeing like memories of ghosts that were stuffed into animatronic suits? Like, is it real or is it not? Play FNAF 2? No, we're reading a book right now, The Ends. We are reading the FNAF book. Do you like racing or driving games, or just chill, slightly competitive games? I like 3D platformers, chill, sometimes competitive games. I don't like shooters though. I'm not good, especially first-person shooters. Not good at those. Third-person shooters I'm a little bit better at, but mostly because I have like single-player experience. You know, I played all the Uncharted games, and I actually did like the multiplayer online for Uncharted. I wasn't the greatest at it, but I did enjoy it. It was because it was a third-person shooter. First-person shooters I don't like as much, but what is it? Party games I like. 3D platformers are definitely my go-to though. Definitely like 3D platformers. next stream. Tomorrow, we're going to play Ultimate Custom Night and FNAF 6. I don't know if I want to jump straight into UCN or if I want to try and finish FNAF 6 because we're at the last night of FNAF 6 for the blacklisted ending. And then I just need one achievement, which is like I need to buy Chica and Chipper or El Chip and Music Man. And then I need to do the Lore Keeper ending. That's the only other ending I don't have currently. So we might start with FNAF 6 again tomorrow. We might go straight to UCN. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do. But Thursday and Friday, we're going to do any one of the FNAF 1 through 7 games that I have not fully 100% completed. So the only game... Actually, no, I haven't 100% completed any of FNAF 1 through 7. I think FNAF 6 is the closest. And then I might be on Custom Night for FNAF 1. I'm not sure. But I still have a lot to do in those games. So Thursday and Friday will be for those games. Okay, where were we? I was talking about the hallucinations. I don't think I started reading, though. When you first boot up the game, as well as at the end of nights 2, 3, and 4, you'll experience a nightmare. In it, you're wearing the Freddy Fazbear head and can only see a peek of what looks like the empty dining area from FNAF 1, from the first FNAF. Right, because these are the FNAF 1 animatronics. That makes sense. The first time you'll see Bonnie and Chica on either side of you and hear unseen children laughing. The sequence will exit out and code saying error will appear in the upper left corner of the screen. Night 2 features... Sorry, lost my place. I was looking at the camera for a sec. Night 2 features a repeat of this nightmare, but now Bonnie and Chica are looking at you. On night 3, Bonnie and Chica appear angrier than before, and Golden Freddy... Golden Freddy stands right in front of you. I thought it was the puppet in this. The fourth and final time Golden Freddy has disappeared, but Bonnie and Chica remain. The puppet blocks your view no matter which way you look. Okay, so night 4's got the puppet. That's what it was. When the game... Let me move the book. When the game crashes on nights 2 through 4, a different code appears in the upper left corner of the screen saying, "It's me." When the game crashes? Shouldn't that say if the game crashes? Well, it says crashes in quotes. So maybe that's not a legitimate crash. I'm not sure. How does early FNAF have creepy children laughing, but in modern ones it has creepy children crying and yet the games get brighter? World's largest oxymoron. The FNAF games have a lot of interesting choices. With UCN, I'd recommend doing the challenges first, else it's difficult to choose. Yeah, that's probably what I was gonna do. Make sure to check all the descriptions of the animatronics beforehand. Will do. I might need some future tips when actually playing it, but I appreciate it. Give me a controller and a gun and I have insane aim. Nah. And that's the thing, like, if you're playing a game like a shooter where you need super accurate aiming, if you're playing on a controller versus someone who's playing on a keyboard, if that person on keyboard and mouse is more skilled than you are, you have no chance of beating them. Their aim is going to be way more precise on a mouse. And that's why I think the Switch 2, if more FPS games or PC games get ported to it, will do really well, because the Switch 2 Joy-Con has a optical sensor right over here. So you can use it like a mouse. You can aim like a mouse with it. So I think that'll give console gamers an edge compared to PC gamers. Yo, what up, Drago? Welcome on into the dojo. Back to Odyssey after 2 weeks of break for school and exams. Oh, I hope exams went well. Yes, I know you're doing hide and seek tonight. I'm going to be reading this book literally all day. How long into stream are we? We're an hour and 14 into stream, and we're on page 19 of this book. Page 18, really. We've been doing a lot of talking, but I haven't been reading consistently. But yeah, we're going through the book right now. You can see we've got it all right here. There's the book. I've just been zooming in so people in chat can also read. 1 or 2 tasks away from the win? On what, the end? Are you playing one of the FNAF games right now? How long is the book? Almost 400 pages. There's a lot. There's a lot in here. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of lore. The last pages, though, are all just like the animatronic inventory. Where does that start, actually? I don't even know what those pages are. Oh, God. Are those the FNAF AR emails? Jesus. There you go. Animatronic inventory. So the last, like, 20 or so pages are just detailing every animatronic. Bro's reading the Bible, but it's FNAF. Literally. Bro, look. FNAF Ultimate Guide 2.0. The totally revamped Ultimate Guide to the best-selling video game series. It tells you everything you need to know about the gameplay elements, the lore elements, the game design elements, the fan theories. It's crazy. It's very, very in-depth, and this is the second version of this book. All right, let's get back to reading it though. We were on the night 6 portion here. Let me zoom in for you. Here we go. Okay, after completing night 5, Jeremy Fitzgerald. That's the name of the character we play as in FNAF 2. I couldn't remember that. We were talking about that earlier when we were reading FNAF 1. But for nights 1 through 5 of FNAF 2, you're playing as Jeremy Fitzgerald. Then you move to night 6, where you're playing as Fritz Smith. And Fritz Smith is an alias for Michael Afton. I forget if Jeremy Fitzgerald was the one that got bit. Jeremy Fitzgerald may or may not be the one that was bit by Foxy for the bite of 87. I think he was. Through FNAF for real. Yeah, of course. I've been playing FNAF for long. So I never played FNAF as a kid because I physically couldn't. I had a MacBook, and MacBooks are not compatible with like 99% of Steam games. Since I've built my PC, I've downloaded these games. I've only played them on stream. I've never played FNAF off stream. But at this point, I have played every FNAF game besides Ultimate Custom Night, which we're going to try out tomorrow. But I've been a fan of the series and the lore since 2014 when it came out. I know everything about this series except maybe the books. I know like about the books. I've never read all of the books though. There's a lot of novels and novellas, and I don't know everything about them. But we're playing as Jeremy Fitzgerald on night 6. And Jeremy Fitzgerald receives a paycheck for $100.50. This amount probably would have felt more significant in 1987, which is the year the game takes place. In any case, making it this far brings up a menu option for a 6th night. Phone guy will tell you that the restaurant is being closed down after one final event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday party. Your reward for making it through an extra night, an overtime paycheck with a measly $20.10. So again, those are just pictures of the paychecks. This is the week-long paycheck for Jeremy. That's $100. And they actually do put the date in there. It says 1987. The first game did not have a date on the paycheck. You should have figured it out yourself. Mac is the best-selling computer for gaming, guys. Oh yeah, 100%. Definitely the best computer. All right, here we go. We got the custom night. This is night 7 of FNAF 2. Excuse me, I'm still burping. What up, Gary Rhodes? Welcome on in. Jeremy's stacked. Jeremy's where it's at, bro. There's so many name overlaps in this game, and I think Jeremy is one of them. Jeremy, there's a lot of Jeremys in FNAF. There's also a lot of Mikes in FNAF. He died from the bite of 87? No, he lost his frontal lobe. I don't think he died. Did he die? He got bit and lost his frontal lobe. I don't remember if he died. Casual Ref, thank you for the follow. Welcome on into the dojo. His wallet must be larger than my head. I mean, if you're William Afton and you can keep opening various locations and continue to get away with killing kids, yeah, your wallet must be pretty large. Okay, here we go. Custom night. Is that focused? There we go. As in the first game, surviving the first 6 nights unlocks a custom night that allows you to change the AI settings of each animatronic. New this time around is a series of 10 preset difficulties, which I actually have not done those presets. So maybe Thursday or Friday, I would like to try and go back and do those. For 9 of them, beating the night unlocks a collectible toy for your office desk, and beating the 10-20 mode earns you a star. Wait, I thought this was untrue. Hang on. I'm going to touch on that in just a second, but going backwards, the collectible toys on the office desk, I just recently learned that it's a collectible for FNAF 2, so I definitely want to get all of those to say I've 100%ed it. But 10-20 mode earning a 3rd star. I thought this was different. I just saw a video recently saying that Markiplier cheated his 10-20 mode, like he faked it. And part of what they said was beating 10-20 mode does not earn you a star. Beating 4-20 mode earns you a star. But beating 10-20 mode earned you like the golden Freddy plushie on your desk, which is what this is talking about, the collectible toys. So now I don't know which information is right or not. And we can't just trust what's in this book, because there have been things in FNAF books in the past that are not correct. Like the character encyclopedia being one of them. So I don't know how much I can trust that. Did not die, but that's where FNAF 4 comes in. Well, the bite of 87 doesn't really have anything to do with FNAF 4, because that's the bite of 83, and that kid did die. Bite of 87 is different. I think he survived, but he just lost his frontal lobe. I'm gonna head off as I have exams tomorrow, but I'll see you tomorrow. Looking forward to this book releasing. Enjoy. I hope you enjoy the book yourself, but thank you for stopping in, Kanemio. We'll check you later. Have a great day. Good luck on your exams. Yeah, so that 10-20 mode thing, it confuses me a little bit. And of course they say it earned, well, they only have 2 stars here. If you fully complete it, you should have 3 stars. Okay, but then we have, so aside from desk swag, What reward do you get for surviving a custom night? Nothing more than a termination notice made out to, who the heck is Fritz Smith? Looks like Jeremy did get switched over to the day shift after night 6, and on the day shift is when he got bit by Foxy. Interestingly, they fire Fritz for the same reasons they fire Mike from FNAF 1, odor and tampering with animatronics. And then, oh my god, we have an entire grid here with the character's AI settings. Look at this. This is insane. I'm not reading all this out. If you guys would like to pause the stream either on YouTube or you can rewind on the Twitch VOD, you can check out all the AI there. It's a lot of changing AIs though. Like, why does it say Foxy Foxy? Wait, what the? Oh, game mode. Oh, these are not for each individual animatronic. The animatronics are up here. So there's 420 mode. Is this not 1020? Oh no, there's a 4. So I think I was right. I think 420 mode is what unlocks you a star. 1020 mode, I don't think unlocks a star from what I've seen, but I could be wrong. Stream is so good that my phone crashed to the lock screen. I mean, we're reading FNAF. I'm not surprised there's crashes going on. Was that the Bite of 87? No, it was the Book of 87. What the heck is Foxy Foxy though? Oh, it's a night of only Foxy and Mangle. I see. Okay. But that is interesting. It sets their AI to 20 for those. So those custom nights are going to be really, really hard. Moving on. Moving on. We've got gameplay and strategy. Alrighty. Gameplay and strategy. I want to make sure you guys can see all the photos on this too. So I want to zoom out just a little. Okay. Animatronics. Once Balloon Boy starts moving, he'll call out hello and hi or giggle. Those are his sound effects, his sound cues. Triana6, thank you for the follow. Welcome on into the dojo. Welcome, welcome. I don't know if we need to read all of this for the gameplay. We should probably. The 4th time you hear him, expect Balloon Boy in the left vent. If he enters the office, he'll disable the flashlight and vent lights. Don the Freddy head to prevent him from getting in. So, okay, yeah, if you see him in the vent, put the Freddy mask on. Putting on the mask for a full 5 seconds is a guaranteed way to get rid of Balloon Boy. You'll hear another Balloon Boy related audio cue when he begins his retreat from the vent opening. So I guess you just wear the mask 5 seconds until you hear him make another sound. I don't know. The puppet, aka the marionette. I feel like they really want to refer to the puppet as the marionette in everything. They do not want to call it the puppet. It is the marionette, and that is it. Because like, then when you have Nightmarion, it's not Nightmare Puppet, it's Nightmarion, who was originally not a canon character, but is very much a canon character now. They don't call it Nightmare Puppet. You know, they want to call this thing just the marionette, which I'd be fine with, honestly, not calling it the puppet. Okay, but the marionette is in the gift box and the prize counter. If the music runs out, you can still wind the music box so long as the puppet still appears in the camera shot. If the puppet hasn't fully escaped yet, you can keep the flashlight on the puppet and try to wind the music box to rescue the situation. Oh, interesting. So you can turn the flashlight on and wind it up. That's good to know. Mangle can appear in the office hallway, but he won't enter from here. When Mangle is in the right vent, don the Freddy head. You'll hear a static as she approaches. Oh my god, they're interchangeably using he and she here for Mangle. If he gets in the office, she'll stay until ending your game. Oh, really? You can't survive if Mangle's in the office at all? Mangle is extremely active. He leaves Kids Cove just after midnight on night 2. Wow. What gender is Mangle? We'll never know. Yeah, we don't have to talk about stuff like that in chat. That's okay. We can ignore the viewership numbers. Just enjoy the stream, y'all. Toy Bonnie is usually among the first animatronics to move, while Toy Freddy is among the least active. All the toy animatronics, including Toy Chica, are less active on later nights. Wearing the Freddy head will keep them out of the office. That's interesting. I didn't know that the toys became less active. This is like the game that the toy animatronics are introduced to, so I'm surprised that they're not as active there. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. What is... Oh, I'm like, what is so bright here? It's the white of the book here. I'm dumb. What up, Casual Ref? I'm doing all right. How are you? Welcome to the dojo. Freddy, Toy Freddy, Withered Freddy, Shadow Freddy, Movie Freddy, Glam Rock Freddy, Shattered Freddy. You're missing some. You didn't say Rockstar Freddy. Were you trying to name all the Freddys? You missed one. You definitely missed one. There's also Adventure Freddy from FNAF World. Did you get Shadow? I think you got Shadow. You did. Are there any other Freddy types? There's the Freddles. You forgot the Freddles. Okay, Withered Bonnie uses the hallway as part of his route to the left vent, and he cannot be seen in the left vent blind spot. Wait, what? Cannot be seen in the left vent blind spot? Interesting. Very active starting on night 3. Withered Chica cannot be seen in the right vent's blind spot. She'll move directly from the right vent to the office. Oh, so I guess they're just talking about the cameras. Withered Foxy can be scared off the flashlight. Holding the flashlight on him can eventually move him back to parts and surface for a time, and later nights will require longer periods of flashing. Short, frequent flashes can also work, but this will allow Foxy to stand, waiting to pounce if you forget to flash frequently again. Okay, so flashing works, but it's not as opportunistic as holding the flashlight on him. And then we also have Withered Freddy. He starts moving on night 2. He's more active on night 3. That's all we get for Withered Freddy? There's so much detailed information on everyone else, but there's just Freddy's active on night 2 and 3. That's it. That's all you get. Oh, sorry, you guys couldn't read that. My bad. My bad. Not great at this. This book had just released today. Yes, this book did just release today. That's why we're reading it. I'm only counting the Freddys that appeared in the main games, not games like Custom Night. Well, FNAF World is canon. I don't know if I'd say it's a main game, but it is canon. So Adventure Freddy is canon. Okay, secret animatronics. These are the 4 it was talking about. Oh, that's right. I forgot about JJ and just the random endoskeleton. Okay, but we do have Golden Freddy. You guys can read that, right? Yeah, cool. Unlike FNAF, nothing specific triggers Golden Freddy. He is active. So unlike FNAF 1, he's active on night 6 and in the custom night, randomly appearing in the office hallway as a ghostly head. Oh, that's this picture right here, just the head. Or in the office itself as a crumpled animatronic suit, which is what we're normally used to seeing him as. Quickly equip the Freddy mask to prevent Golden Freddy's attack. And then you have RWQFSFASXC, or Shadow. Oh, sorry. No, it says that and Shadow Freddy. So both Shadow animatronics are here. This is Shadow Bonnie, but that is Shadow Bonnie's legitimate name, RWQFSFASXC. I don't have that memorized. I know ID's Fantasy does have that name memorized because she's spat her up so many times in various live streams and videos. Your question is, what is my favorite Freddy type? Ooh, my favorite Freddy type. I mean, Glamrock Freddy is like, he's your superstar, you know? He's your best friend. He's a great one. I don't know. I don't know which one I would like the most. Probably Glamrock Freddy, I'd say. Shattered Freddy. Which one was Shattered? Are the Shatter animatronics just the security breach version of them? Because I think... No, wait, what's the Shattered? Oh, in Ruin, it's the Ruined animatronic. Shattered might be the end of security breach when they get all broken down. But they're not ruined yet. Is that what the Shatter animatronics are? I go into my YouTube notification. The first thing in the important section is Karateman is live. Let's go. It's the only thing that should be there. Just Karateman. Okay, but the Shadow animatronics. A Shadow version of Freddy occasionally appears in the parts and service room. An animatronic known as, I'm not going to repeat it again, Shadow Bonnie, can occasionally be seen standing on the left side of the office. Looking at Shadow Bonnie for too long will cause your game to crash. Every time you drop your monitor, you have a very rare chance of getting Shadow Bonnie. Flashing your flashlight before the 4-second mark is your key to success here. Okay, so now we know if we ever encounter Shadow Bonnie again, flash the flashlight immediately. Immediately. I was right. Yeah, the shattered animatronics are the destroyed Glamrocks. Okay, that's what I thought. It's weird. There's 3 different versions of the Glamrocks. There's the Glamrocks, the Shattereds, and the Ruins. And they're all the same models. They're just in decrepit states. It's very funny. Okay, next up we have the endoskeleton. That's the Endo 02 model. A bare endoskeleton can be seen in the prize corner and left vent, though it never attacks the player. There are some interesting fan theories about which animatronic this endoskeleton belongs to. I actually don't know those theories. What is the current theory? Which animatronic does Endo 02 belong to? I'm not aware of this. Don't you guys love this music? This is Animal Crossing. Actually, I think I have one of this Animal Crossing song on my Zen Garden scene. Physical appearance. Its overall appearance bears a lot of striking similarities to Withered Foxy's endoskeleton due to its nearly identical body structures, with ears in the exact same shape, but facing in a different way. Endo 02 also has hazel blue eyes similar to those of Withered Freddys. Yeah, Withered Freddys, it says. So it seems like Endo 02 goes to one of the Withered animatronics, but I don't know exactly who. I never knew the theory on who Endo 02 went to. I think Endo 02 is the endoskeleton for the toys and the Withered, so it seems like it was leaning towards the Withereds. I wouldn't say it was the toys. I think the toys have a different one. But I think the theory they were referring to is like that specific Endo 02, because if there's an Endo 02 just hanging around in parts and service, and all of the toys and Withers are already chasing you down through the pizzeria, that means that endoskeleton goes to another animatronic that we don't currently see. I guess you could always just say it's a backup endoskeleton for one of them though, but that's a lame theory. Fun fact, I've never been out of England. Fun fact, I've never been to England. Never been there. I've been outside the US very briefly. I went to the Caribbean on some cruises, so that's technically outside the US. And then I went on an Alaskan cruise when I graduated high school, and my sister graduated college at the same time. And we went out of Seattle and we went up to Alaska, and then it actually stopped in Canada for like half a day, if that, maybe a few hours. So technically I've been to Canada as well. I think I may have been to Canada once before that, but I've never been to England. I've never been to the EU. Never been to Europe. Mingle has Endo 02 parts, so I think that's why I said toys. Yeah. Okay, so I get what you mean there, Anastasia. I guess I just meant the like specific animatronic that is missing its endoskeleton that is currently standing in Endo 02, you know, in parts and service. Or prize corner, wherever that is, I don't know. And then the last one we got here, the last bonus animatronic, JJ, which actually for a long time I did not know existed. I thought it was maybe like an Easter egg or something they added for Ultimate Custom Night. But JJ does exist. It's very hard to see down here. I'll zoom in afterwards. An animatronic like Balloon Boy, but with pink eyes, is sometimes staring at you from under your desk. JJ doesn't appear anywhere else in the game and cannot kill you, but JJ is very, very annoying in Ultimate Custom Night from what I know. So if we zoom in here, you can see JJ's eyes right under there. There you go. See those purple eyes, pink eyes? That's JJ. BB's brother or sister, Balloon Boy. What does JJ stand for? Jaloon Joy? That doesn't make sense. What's next? Next, we've got super advanced game mechanics and quirks. So this is all of their AIs and such. Can we focus? That's kind of good. Again, they have this colored AI thing. So red means at 1 a.m. their AI changes. Green means at 2 a.m. their AI changes, and blue is 3 a.m. So their AIs don't change past 3 a.m. Once you get to 3 a.m., that is the hardest difficulty the entire rest of the night will be. Very interesting. What up, Glitch Squicks? Welcome on into the dojo. Hey, if you guys are liking what you see, make sure to drop a follow, drop a sub. I stream multiple times a week, usually 3 to 4 times a week. I don't always do FNAF stuff like this. These are special streams. But I do a lot of Mario Odyssey speedrunning, Mario Odyssey modded playthroughs, as well as Donkey Kong Bonanza speedruns. JJ stands for JJ. Oh, okay. That would be smarter mini puzzles. I like that. JJ stands for JJ. That makes no sense if you're not actually reading the message in chat. Verbally, that does not make sense. Okay, so night 2, I think that's 2, rarity. Golden Freddy has a 1 in 1,000 chance of having his AI set to 1 on night 2 at 1 a.m. The usual condition to negate this back to 0 is not active, and 1 a.m. happens after that point. So there's a very small chance of Golden Freddy having AI equal to 1 on night 2, starting at 2 a.m. What does that mean? Yeah, there's stuff on this next page over here about Golden Freddy's AI. I don't understand what that means. But okay. Night 6. At the start of night 6, Golden Freddy has a 10% chance of having AI equal to 1 instead of AI 0. Oh, I see. And then at 2 a.m. on night 6, his AI is set to 3, which gives you a much greater chance of seeing him on the camera flips. So night 6 is very, very dangerous for Golden Freddy in FNAF 2, is what it's telling me. Because if we look over here, we can see his chances increase right here and here. Nights 2 and 6. Those are the only times Golden Freddy can be active. You literally do not have to worry about Golden Freddy any other time. That's interesting. At 1 a.m., there's a 10% chance. And then at 2 a.m. It's a guaranteed level 3 AI. And then there's a like 10%. No, there's a 0.1% chance of him being active on night 2. Very interesting. Would you count Golden Freddy as a type of Freddy? Yeah, I would. I didn't bring it up in your original message, but I would. I definitely would. As well as Fredbear, because they're all the same. They're all the same at that point. What else was over here? It just says Night 7 Custom Night. What the hell is this? There's no information here. It just says Custom Night. What? Why? Whatever. Okay. AI caps. There are AI level caps that will max out before 20 on the Custom Night. Before 20? In many cases, the caps were likely put in place to add variability to the movement patterns of most of the animatronics. As AI equals 20 would force movement success every time a movement check is done, even if you set the cap to 20. The AIs will max out their caps as follows. So Withered Foxy caps at 17. The Puppets AI is forced to 15 on night 7, so you can't set Puppets AI in custom night menu. Mangle Balloon Boy, Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica cap at 15. Withered Bonnie, Withered Freddy, Withered Chica cap at 15. Golden Freddy caps at 10. So wait. Is there anyone that can't be capped? How many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You literally can't set any of their AIs to 20. 10-20 mode is a joke. It's a lie. It's straight up a lie. You can't do 10-20 mode. None of their AI goes to 20. That's so stupid. What the heck? Why wouldn't you just change how the AI works? The 20 makes no difference now. So can I just get the 10-20 mode achievement if I put all of their AIs at their caps instead of at 20? Because it's just going to be lowered anyway. What the heck? On Monday when I saw you were streaming every day, Monday to Friday, I started punching the air. Let's go. So excited. Okay, Paper Pals. There's a 1% chance of having the possibility of Paper Buddy appearing on night 7. Only on night 7? Wait, what's Paper Buddy? Is that just one of them? There's a chance of one of the Paper Pals entering the office as a prop on the wall behind the fan. Yeah, I guess we knew they were in the office. There may be some extra static effect if Paper Buddy is in your office, but it doesn't seem to affect the other animatronics dynamics. Who's Paper Buddy? I knew Paper Pals. Paper Buddy FNAF 2. Oh, okay. So there's 3 different of the Paper Pals. So that's what it is. Is there a picture of the Paper Pals in here? Do we seriously not have a picture of the Paper Pals? Hang on. Where's P? Where's P for Paper Pals? Are they here? Are they at T for the Paper Pals? Jesus Christ. No, they're not. I guess they're not back here. Well, they're not animatronics. Okay, hang on. Tripod is working great. Well, thank you. I just wish there wasn't as much of this on the side. Well, I'm zoomed in, so you can't see what I'm referring to, but when I'm zoomed out all the way, ooh, we're really zoomed out. When we're zoomed into here where the book like fits on the screen, I wish this box weren't here. Like seeing this is annoying to me, but it's a very janky tripod setup. What game do you like more? All FNAF games are Secret of the Mimic? Oh, that's a tough one. For gameplay wise, Secret of the Mimic was a lot of fun. For lore wise, you can't outweigh one game over all of the rest, you know? That's tough. They're pretty fun. I would probably lean towards Secret of the Mimic just because it's one of the games I played on release, which I've not done with a lot of the FNAF games. But I enjoyed it a lot. I kind of want to go back to speedrunning that at one point because I did a couple of speedruns for the fastest ending, like the glitched out of bounds, whatever you want to call it. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't have FPS on, and you need to have an FPS counter on in game for them to verify your run, which is so fucking stupid, but that's besides the point. So my runs are unverified, and beyond that, they already found ways to do it in less than a minute. So I kind of want to learn that route one day and try and do Secret of the Mimic speedruns. Maybe we'll do that on Friday. Who knows? Who knows? All right, but where were we? We were talking about the paper pals, and I did not have a picture of them. But I think, so what it is there's 3 paper pals, right? One of them represents Freddy, one of them represents Bonnie, and then Paper Buddy is this third one that doesn't really have a character necessarily associated with it. But now in recent theories, people are saying that Paper Buddy looks like Jackie, which is the what is it? The Jack in the Box from Secret of the Mimic, which also ends up getting taken over by the Mimic. So people are saying it could be the Mimic, but who knows? Your phone's on 9% and your charger's cooked. Uh-oh. I want Trash and the Gang to make a comeback. They did make a comeback. Trash and the Gang were in Into the Pit. It's true. How much battery is my phone on? Oh boy, my phone is on 50% battery. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. We're gonna get about another 2 hours of time to read before my phone dies. And then we'll have to switch over to playing a game while it charges. I didn't realize it would drain battery so fast. Let's keep reading through this. We're still only on FNAF 2. Welcome back. Pickle with a mask. You sent the gifts yesterday. I do remember that. Welcome back. Thank you so much for the donos. It was very, very generous of y'all. And Cody Hansen, welcome on into the dojo. All right, let's keep reading here. Let's keep reading. So we're on the paper pals. No, we read that already. We're now on music box emptying. Okay, on night 7 at AI level 15, the music box winds down from full to empty in about 16 2/3 seconds. That is wild. That's just so weirdly precise. If the music box is empty, there's a check every second to see whether or not the puppet will advance based on AI 20 odds. I thought it said it caps at 15 though. What's up with AI 20? On night 7, when AI is forced at 15, every second there's a 75% chance that an empty music box will cause the puppet to advance another stage out of the music box. On stage 3, the puppet is now loose and approaching your office. If you're on cam 2 and flashing your flashlight at the puppet, you can thwart this check. If your music box is empty and you tap the wine music the wine music box button area, it gives you an instant 2.5 seconds of charge. You should wind this up for longer than just a tap, but the game at least tries to help you out in this instance. Okay, so that's interesting. There's like more ways than I thought to kind of avoid the puppet in that instance. And then mouse down advantage on PC. Apparently there's a PC advantage here. Never been to France, but I speak French. I don't speak other languages. You're writing a book? That's pretty cool, Cody. Play FNAF Into the Pit. I want to see my boys Trash in the Gang. You should download it. FNAF Into the Pit was a great game. I highly recommend it. And it's on like any platform you'd want. I know it's on Switch. I don't know what other platforms it's on, but I do know it's on Switch. So you should get Into the Pit yourself. Into the Pit we're not going to play this week. I did beat that game. I never technically 100%ed it because I did not get all the achievements. But some of those achievements are hard. Writing an espionage thriller / horror hybrid. Very interesting. Good luck. Is it on mobile? I do not know if Into the Pit is on mobile. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Okay, but mouse down advantage on PC. On the PC version, if you have your mouse down, you just have to hover over the wine music box button area and it will still work. This will give you a few frames of extra winding bonus as the music box winds up. Okay, that's good because we will eventually go back to FNAF 2, probably later this week. And I have not beaten night 6. I don't think I made it to the custom night. I think I didn't beat night 6 yet on FNAF 2, but I don't remember. So for most strategies that don't rely on cam stalling, I have no idea what cam stalling is, try clicking the go button to start the custom night and then holding down your mouse from then on the entire run. That's going to be like carpal tunnel inducing, man. I don't want to have to hold the button that long. Very interesting. Okay, next page. We're now into just Toy Bonnie. Okay. There's a randomness to whether Toy Bonnie will cooperate or not. There's also a chance of his walk across animation playing out in full. The current strategy that various players and strategy crews have used effectively for dealing with Toy Bonnie is to click on various cameras that prevent certain animatronics from advancing. I don't know what those cameras are. That's gonna be a tough one. Toy Bonnie is stubborn. If he's at your vent opening, whether or not he responds to your mask being on is random. This can ruin your run. If Toy Bonnie decides not to walk across your screen while you have the mask on. Wow, that's rough. I didn't realize that was a thing. Randomly decides to ignore your mask? That sucks. I knew there was a lot of RNG with like 1020 mode, but that's really rough. Why does this look so dark? I feel like it got darker. I don't know why it looks so dark on camera. Give me like Make this brighter? No? A little bit. No, no. Okay. In theory, there's no limit to how many rejections of walking across that Toy Bonnie can do, so there's a chance Toy Bonnie may never decide to leave. With no other threats, every 0.5 seconds, Toy Bonnie has a 50% chance of walking across if you have your Freddy mask on. With other threats present, every 1 second, Toy Bonnie has a 33% chance of walking across your screen, so you need to make sure that other threats are gone. On average, but not always, it takes about 3 seconds to start the walk across animation, but the full animation takes 5 seconds. This is harsh because the music box will run down faster on later nights, and especially on night 7. So yeah, that could really screw you. Night 1, ooh, can't read that. Night 1, you have 100 frames at 60 frames per second. To put on your mask, that's 1 2/3 seconds. I think that's what that says. Night 2, you have 80 frames, which is 1 1/3 second. Night 3 is 60 frames, you get a full second. Night 4, 55 frames, that's 11/12 of a second. Night 5 and 6, it's 50 frames, that's 5/6 of a second. And night 7, you guys can't read that. Night 7, you have 45 frames, 3/4 of a second to put your mask on. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I think I missed some messages here. Let me scroll up in chat really quick. You have a Nintendo Switch? Yo, so do I. Check it out. I got a Switch too. What? Crazy. Cody, you got a Switch Lite? Hey, the Switch Lite still works pretty well. It sucks that you can't dock it though. I think there is a way to get around that, and you can actually dock a Switch Lite, but it's not meant to be docked. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is hype. Love that game. Same with Mario Kart World. It's so great. You think Bear_5 is... What? I don't know what you're saying there, Pickle. You got me confused. Okay, let's keep reading. Desk animatronics. Desk animatronics will appear at your desk. Sorry. Oh my god, can't clear my throat. They will appear at your desk for an attack and include Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, and Toy Freddy. Yes, Toy Freddy. At every 10-second juncture in the night, if you are winding the music box on cam 2 and a desk animatronic is an immediate threat, your camera will be forcibly pulled down and you will have to react. Oh, how do you have to react to it? Interesting. I thought that would just be a instant jump scare, but apparently you can react to it. So let's see what we got to do. Let's figure that out. Random number from 3 to 7, 3. I used to be into FNAF when I was 12 to 18. I'm 27 and I'm still into FNAF. I love it. I love it. Yes, I know you were here on Monday, Pickle. I remember. Okay, reacting to desk animatronics. There is a greater leniency on earlier nights as you get used to the game, but even if you have super low AI on the custom night, you have to have very fast reaction times with the mask. Yeah, my reaction times with the moving the mouse are so tough. What up, Sting? Welcome on into the dojo. So, Withered Foxy. Was that one of the ones they said could be on the desk? No. Why are we reading about Withered Foxy if it's talking about desk animatronics? It says Withered Freddy, Bonnie, Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, and Toy Freddy can be on your desk. It says nothing about Withered Foxy. So I don't know why we're reading about Withered Foxy now. But with Withered Foxy, even at AI 0 and with the Ladies Night preset, Foxy will appear and be a threat during the night. That's so weird. Withered Foxy operates like a thermometer. If you don't flash him with the flashlight, his anger builds up, but when you do flash him, his anger goes down. If you don't load up Foxy with flashes from your flashlight at every 10-second juncture, there will be a check to determine whether or not Foxy will attack. You can force Foxy back to parts and service for a while, but you have to load up enough time flashing him with the flashlight. Later nights will take more flash time to force him out of the hallway and back to parts and service. Realistically, a quick flash right before the 10-second marks will keep Foxy in the hallway staring at you, but he won't be angry enough to jump at you if you sync your cycles with various movement checks going on. On night 7, if you... Yeah, you guys can read that. So, on night 7, if you sit with your flashlight on Foxy for 11 2/3 seconds straight, Foxy should retreat on the next movement check, but your music box will basically be dead. On earlier nights, you have to flash Foxy less to cause this retreat. So Foxy makes this really, really hard, is what I'm getting from this. Because the flashlight has a battery meter, you can't infinitely flash Foxy. Foxy can return after going back to parts and service. Foxy can be very harsh in how often he appears and how much attention he requires. So if you run out of flashlight power, you're basically guaranteed to die to Foxy, is what I'm getting from this. Wow, there's a lot of info for FNAF 2. Okay, we get a map on the next page, and then we get into codes, glitches, and secrets, and then we get into lore and theories. Oh my god, there's like 4 pages of lore and theories. We are 12 pages away from FNAF 3. Jeez, man. This book is in depth. Okay, vent animatronics. The other vent animatronics are BB, Toy Chica, and Mangle. Wearing a mask for 5 consecutive seconds guarantees these 3 will leave. Every second you have the mask on, there's a 10% chance that the animatronic will leave. Taking the mask off will reset the counter to 0, so you have to be decisive here. There's a 10% chance that the animatronics... Oh, okay. So that's tough. Every second you have the mask on is a 10% chance. So there's just chances that they'll never leave. You're so cooked when you're caught by Foxy. Yeah, if Withered Foxy's got you, you're done for. You're playing a zombie game? What kind of zombie game are you playing, Sting? Changing my name back in 3 days? Yeah, you can change your name whatever you want. It's fine. You don't have to stay as sub to Karateman. I don't even know how often you can change your name on YouTube. Oh, love this music. When BB is at the vent opening, you will always hear the high sound effect, but this sound effect can also be a random effect as he leaves. On the approach, high is your time to check the left vent opening. BB stealing your batteries will usually end up in a jump scare from Foxy, unless you're right at the 6 a.m. mark. You can still win, but on a later night, and especially on a 10-20 run, this has to be right at the end of the night for this run to be a possible win. Toy Chica. Toy Chica will have... Toy Chica used to have a walk across animation, but in the final game, the animation was removed. Chica responds to the Freddy mask being on. Okay, that's it. Now we got Mangle. Mangle. The sound cues of Mangle are very helpful. No visual cue is needed to determine whether Mangle has left or not. I need to learn all these audio cues. They're so important. The blacklight phase. This is when a desk animatronic or Toy Bonnie causes the power surge effect. Lasts 300 frames at 60 frames per second, which comes to a total of 5 seconds. What's the power surge effect? I don't know what that is. If an animatronic is attacking your desk and you have your mask on during this phase, it is often the case that any vent animatronic present will also leave, since you will have your mask on for 5 consecutive seconds. And then version 1.0 mask plus flashlight combo. In version 1.0 of the game, you can have your mask on at the same time as your flashlight with a little bit of a glitch. This is now disallowed, but there are some ways to glitch the mask camera. It's disallowed, but it's still possible? That's weird. But there are some ways to glitch the mask camera dynamics if you're really getting silly. Okay, I just need to read the full sentence. I thought the sentence ended. Weird. Next page, we've got the rare screens. Why are there coffee stains on this? It's a brand new book, bro. Gotta pause to like appreciate the Toad's Factory music, you know? It's too good to ignore. Twice every 14 days, that's rough. Yeah, if you change it another time, you're not getting your name back. Been a gamer since 2013. I've been a gamer since like 2002. I don't know when my first video game was. I know what my first video game was. Actually, we can look at the release date of it. Release date of Jak and Daxter. Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy was released in North America on December 4th, 2001. I would venture to say I probably did not have it in the first month it released, so 2002 was a good guess. Been gaming since 2002. Yeah, you only change your name once, but if you change it again, you wouldn't get your name back. I get you. So, rare screens. Eyeless animatronics, Withered Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Withered Foxy each have a 1 in 1,000 chance of appearing in various scenarios. Withered Freddy after losing a night. Toy Bonnie at the start of the night. Withered Foxy at the start of the game. What? Oh, is it just saying there's ways to get to see these animatronics when they don't have eyes? You can use CD Plus to finish any night instantly, but unlike in FNAF 1, you have to position your mouse pointer over Toy Freddy's nose on the Celebrate poster. I didn't realize that was a thing. I knew the night skip was still possible, and I think that's a thing in FNAF 1 through 4, maybe plus sister location. But the eyeless things I don't really get. I don't know what that's for. Okay, but cycles. Every hour is 70 seconds long. And newer click team builds. Each night is 4... Oh, okay. Every hour is 70 seconds. Every night is 420 seconds. Yo, 420 blaze it. Can we get an exclamation point 420 in chat? Minor cycle at every 5 seconds, major cycle at every 10 seconds. This means that there are 84 minor cycles and 42 major cycles throughout the night. That is a lot to deal with. Right vent camp principle. If you handle the right vent animatronics, you usually won't have to check your left vent much, if at all. So some strategies allow you to focus on the right side instead of going left, then middle, then right. Yes, I've seen those strategies that you just go back and forth the whole time. Always flash Foxy when you can. So that would make it so you only have to go middle and right, I think. Which might be a good strategy for us to adopt going back to FNAF 2. Flash your light at him from time to time. Notion from Phone Guy. Technically, you can tap the flashlight and then stall out Foxy for a little bit. If you're flashing him right before a major movement check, however, you will likely do better on most nights by holding down the flashlight for a bit longer than a few taps, so that you decrease Foxy's anger meter a substantial amount. Okay, this next page is going to be cool. Let me zoom out for this next page. Check it out. We got the full map. Very big. Actually, it's 2 of the same map. I guess there was too much information to put on it. Yeah, it's 2 of the same map. There's a lot on here. I'll turn it so we can see each page individually. Hi, Freddy. Your first game was SM64? That's crazy. I never knew SM64 existed on the N64 because the first time I played it was Super Mario 64 DS. That was great. I'm gonna make it so if I get another like, it'll change to Karateman is the GOAT. Oh my god. You just gotta make all separate accounts. First game was Mario Maker. How old are you? What? Your first game was Mario Maker? Okay, Mario Maker did release 10 years ago. I didn't realize it was that old already. God damn. I can't fathom Mario Maker being someone's first game. That's actually insane. I'm just saying you must be very young, Pickle. Okay, let's look at these maps. Okay, so mapping paths of the withered animatronics. So this page is only the wizards. You can see all of the wizards start in this back left room. I don't know what room that is. But party rooms 1 through 4, animatronics appear here on their way to the vents in 1 and 2. Gotta tilt this up so I can read it. Left vent number 5 in the bottom, next to the office. Withered Bonnie enters the office from here. Withered Chica enters the office from the other vent on the right. And then the office hallway that leads straight to you. This is a really weird pizzeria design. I can't wait to see this in the movie because I doubt this is the actual blueprint that they used for the movie. But just having this open hallway going directly to your office is horrible, especially without a door. Absolutely horrible. My favorite Home Alone character? It's been so long since I've seen Home Alone. Kevin McAllister, I don't know. Withered Foxy and Freddy attack straight from the hallway. Okay, and then we've got the mapping of the toy animatronics. So the toys start on stage back here. So this is the main stage area. These are the individual party rooms, I guess. So strange. Why is there like a small connector from the stage area to the party rooms? I don't like the layout. Okay, so party rooms 1 through 4. Animatronics appear here on their way to vents 1 and 2. Right, they kind of just hang out in these rooms until they can get into the vents. So that's interesting. Rooms 3 and 4 can't directly get to a vent. The office. Toy Freddy will approach and attack from the hallway. Yep, we knew that. Alright, this is just saying where everyone is. I'm gonna move on. Prize corner. The most important camera. Yeah, gotta wind the music box. So prize corner is 11. Interesting. And Balloon Boy can move to 10. 10 is like the carousel area, I think. I think that's where that is. Not sure. He lacked Withered Chica. I don't know what that means. Withered Chica was up here. Withered Chica, vent 6. Or right vent. Alright, next. We've got codes, glitches, and secrets. There's plenty of those to go around. Can't see the full book. Okay. Let us continue in just a second. Cool. Okay, codes, glitches, and secrets. FNAF 2 Retro Arcade. Death minigame. Save. Oh, these are all the death minigames. Okay. So we've got the Save Them minigame. That is where Toy Freddy should be walking around the map following the puppet. It's very hard to see there. But it says, dying in FNAF 2 might trigger one of several minigames rendered in 8-bit graphics. These are perhaps the most talked about elements of the game because they're so different from anything we've seen before. The first minigame, known as Save Them, using the keyboard, the first minigame is known as Save Them. Using the keyboard for movement, WASD, you as Freddy, it just says Freddy. I believe that is, maybe it's FNAF 3 you play as Toy Freddy. Save Them minigame might just be regular Freddy, because it just says Freddy, and I don't see dots for the buttons. You follow the puppet through a map of the restaurant until reaching the prize corner. You pass slumped over children and pools of blood along the way. On rare occasions, Purple Guy will end the minigame early. If Purple Guy appears, a scrap of text will appear in your lower left corner following a game crash. You can't. It says you can't. Pickle, I'm not sure what you're talking about. And then over here, it says, almost everything about this game is different, but one thing that stayed the same. Click on the poster in the office to honk Freddy's nose. Yep, that always stays the same in nearly every game. But then we also have another retro arcade game. This is Take Cake to the Children. This is where we see who we later learn to be Charlie. This is Charlie's murder outside of Fredbear's Family Diner. Actually, later theories say this might be FNAF, the first Five Nights at Freddy's location. Not the FNAF 1 game, but the first location. Okay, so this post-death minigame has Freddy taking cake to 6 children with another child visible outside of the room. Walking into the room changes the kid's color to green. Walking into the room? No, that should say walking over to them. If you give them the cake, they turn green. If you turn them all green at once, you lose control of Freddy. Neglecting the kids... Wait, what? If you turn them all green at once, you lose control of Freddy? I don't know what that means. Neglecting the kids changes their color to red. Midway through the game... Okay, I don't know why that would freeze Freddy, because you want them all green. That's weird. Midway through the game, a car pulls up outside. The aforementioned Purple Guy exits and kills the crying child. Oh my god, you can't call it the crying child. We have a different crying child already. You can't call it that. And they turn gray. The letters being called out are save him, but you can't. It should be save her, because that was retconned. In fact, you move slower and slower until all the children turn red. The minigame ends with a jump scare courtesy of the puppet. It's important to note that Freddy looks slightly different in this minigame than he does in Save Them. The minigame map here is also the smallest. These discrepancies have an important bearing on some fan theories. So I think they're trying to insinuate that this is Fredbear's Family Diner, but I think later theories are saying that it's not the diner. I don't know, though. I don't know for sure. Okay, next mini games. I like how there's a giant keyboard up here. Hi from Romania. Well, what is up, Marius Patra? Hopefully I pronounced that right. Welcome on into the dojo. Hello from the United States. Hi from Pickle Land. Yo, you're having fun in Pickle Land? That's crazy. Originally we are Freddy. Yeah, in that minigame it looked like we were Freddy. Just regular Freddy, not Toy Freddy. Candy and Pop Goes and the Joy of Creation should have been in the book. Those are not Five Nights at Freddy's games. No, they should not have been. They're fan games, which is all well and great, but they have no place being in this book. No, they don't. I'm gonna heavily disagree with you there. All right, let's read some more mini games here. Death minigame Foxy, go, go, go. This is the one that we read about a little bit earlier. Here you'll play as Foxy, leaving the previous room. You enter a room full of children as party poppers go off. When the last one goes off, you return to the starting position and must make your way to the kids once again. And then again. But the last time you do, Purple Guy is visible in the lower left corner of the room. He's smiling. In the next room, the children are dead. Post-death minigame ends with a Foxy jump scare. And there's a rare screen here. The left paper plate man in party room 4 will disappear and reappear on the wall in the office. So the paper pals, I think, was talking about. We read that earlier. I'm from Romania too. Yo, we have multiple people from Romania. That's crazy. Oh, you're heading out, Archie? We'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping on in. Okay, next mini game. Give gifts, give life. This is like one of the most important ones. This is the one that insinuates that despite the kids being stuffed into suits, they don't fully possess, they don't knowingly possess the suits until the puppet lets them know and like gives them the information to be like, you're dead. This person killed you. You are now an animatronic. You have new life. But yeah, there's a lot of things from like future books that show how the puppet was trying to help them move on, and in their current state, they're like lost souls right now because they don't know they're dead or they don't know where their bodies are. So the puppet leading the souls to their bodies in the suits helps them become whole. But let's actually read what it says. It says, in this post-death minigame, you play as the puppet. Per the on-screen instructions, you need to give gifts to 4 apparently dead children. Returning to the center of the room, you're told to give life. As you approach each child, the head of each animatronic appears over the child's head. Once again, the letters being called out are help them. You're also earning a score for giving the gifts, but the numbers change to a random sequence when the minigame ends with a golden Freddy jump scare. Oh, I didn't know the numbers changed to a random sequence. Slowing down the playback of the minigame just before the jump scare reveals a 5th child in the center of the room. Golden Freddy's jump scare originates from this child, perhaps implying that the puppet placed a 5th animatronic head on Golden Freddy, on this child. Very, very important lore there. Very important. Give gifts, give life is huge. You guys have Wendy's? Yeah, we have Wendy's. I actually haven't had Wendy's in a while. Maybe I'll get Wendy's tonight for dinner. Maybe we'll mix it up. Okay, that was it for codes, glitches, and secrets. Now we're on to lore and theories. We got 4 pages of this before we move on to FNAF 3. How's the battery looking? 41%. Okay. So lore and theories. We'll start off with this one up here. Fan theories. Freddy franchises. Phone guy tells us on night 1. Sorry about the glare. Let me see if I can get rid of that. I'll just hold the book up for you guys. Not going to autofocus? Nope. Nope. It's not going to autofocus. There we go. So annoying. I have to just tap the phone for it to do instant focusing. Phone guy tells us on night 1 that a previous location was left to rot after something terrible happened there. And then later on night 5, sorry, I'm moving a lot. Then later on night 5, we learned there was an original restaurant called Fredbear's Family Diner, which was apparently franchised out to create the other locations. This was reiterated in the Silver Eyes novel, in which Charlie tracked down the old diner, and it was revealed that a single child had gone missing there. Pizzeria Simulator picks up with that thread with HRY223 secret audio file and the closing sequence of the game. Wait, what? They're saying that connects to Pizzeria Simulator with Fredbear's Family Diner? I mean, in the HRY223 message and the game completion sequence, he's talking about how, like, I don't know the exact phrasing, but tools of his creation went on to do horrible things. So is he referring, because they're talking about Fredbear's Family Diner in this. So are they referring to Henry making Golden Freddy or Fredbear, which ends up killing the crying child? Is that what they mean by that? I don't know the exact connection they're trying to make there. You're 20, Pickle? You were born in 2005? I can do math. Very cool, very cool. That's interesting. Really makes you think, no? Okay, also we have fan theories. The minigames reveal multiple killings. Yes! The MCI and the DCI, a prominent strain of theories, maintain that each of the 4 minigames in FNAF 2 reveals a different set of murders. And it's mostly based on this minigame here. I don't know how much detail we'll be able to see if I zoom in on this. I'm trying to focus as much on the black so it gets brighter, but you can see there's a dead kid there. There are animatronics there. I think those are just animatronics. That's Golden Freddy's suit. There's a dead kid there. There's a dead kid here with Mangle, and it's worth noting Mangle is already moving. None of the other animatronics are moving, but Mangle is moving. I believe I can't see it on here, but I think there's a pool of blood under one of these tables. It's very, very hard to see. You can see it easier in the minigame. There's no dead body in that room, but there is blood. And then you've got a dead body up on the stage by the toy animatronic. So these are the withereds back here. That's withered Chica, Bonnie, Foxy, I guess. I think that's Foxy in the corner, and then Golden Freddy. Or that could just be Freddy. I don't know where Foxy would be. But yeah, then you've got the toy animatronics up there. So it's theorized that that is the DCI, the Dead Children's Incident, which is not to be confused with the MCI, the Missing Children's Incident. That one happened in 1985 and should have theoretically been the first set of murders. This being the FNAF 2 location, because you've got the party rooms here, you've got the office down here. Where's my finger? You've got the office down there, and the stage up here. This is absolutely the FNAF 2 location. So based on the fact that they're saying there's dead bodies in the FNAF 2 location, that would imply there's another set of at least 5 murders. Welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's Theorizing. Nothing is confirmed. Nothing is known for sure. Is the DCI being confirmed or unconfirmed? That's up for you to decide. I don't know. Personally, I fully believe the DCI exists. I don't know what happens to all those dead bodies, or like the fallout of another set of investigations and murders and convictions. Like, it said someone got convicted for the first murders in the FNAF 1 game, but then there's these murders and I have no idea. I totally believe in the DCI. I don't know what happens to the dead children. I don't know what animatronics they possess, because I don't think the toy animatronics are possessed. I don't think we have evidence to say that dead kids were stuffed in the toy animatronics. The reason that they are like angry and agitated towards adults is because they have the criminal recognition, face recognition database in their eyes. So they see a human and they can tell whether or not it's a criminal. So the fact that they're going after the security guard, you're probably a criminal, you know? I don't know, but I don't think the toys are possessed, but I do think the DCI happened. Here's some free watch hours as I go to do house up. Yo, SWGOH Overlord. Thank you for tuning into the stream. Thanks for the lurk. Hopefully we can entertain you while you're cleaning the house. All right, let's actually read about the Save Them minigame, which is right over here. Save Them is believed to be in the FNAF 2 restaurant. That is 100% the FNAF 2 restaurant. We just detailed why this image is the FNAF 2 restaurant. The minigame map is similar to the camera map. There are 5 dead children here as well. Purple guy also looks different. That's just because, oh no, he does have a slightly different model in this one. That's right. He's now wearing something gold on his chest and holding something in his hand. Oh, right. Save Them is the minigame where he's holding that little thing, whether it's a knife or a phone, or he's got a security badge on his chest. Who knows? Who knows? Then why did Phone Guy say none of them are acting right after mentioning someone used one of the suits? He does say that in FNAF 2. That would imply, well, I would think someone used one of the suits, and that's part of the voice call from FNAF 2. That would imply that Afton came back to the FNAF 2 restaurant and dressed up maybe as, I would assume as Spring Bonnie again, and did the murders. But the reason none of them are acting right after that, I don't know if he tampered with them. But I guess if you're theorizing that he stuffed the kids in the toys, that would be why they're acting weird. And what do we have? We have Toy Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, Mangle. We don't have Toy Foxy. Balloon Boy? Like, who are you shoving these 5 dead kids in? Who's the 5th, you know? Golden Freddy. There's no Toy Golden Freddy, so I don't know. It's one of those questions that's like, okay, based on the evidence, there's definitely another 5 dead kids here, but I don't know what happens to them. I thought Scrap Trap was another costume and not the Spring Trap. And that Scrap Trap one was a prototype. Then there's the question of how did he change it? Is it Burn Trap another one? Yeah, the Burn Trap conversation is like a whole different area. I personally don't know whether I think Burn Trap is Afton or not, or if it's just the Mimic trying to recreate Afton. I don't know. But I do believe that Spring Trap and Scrap Trap are the same. I think it's just a model change for a new game. I don't know. I think they're the same animatronic. Davey thinks Scrap Trap's a different suit. You cannot convince me Spring Trap and Scrap Trap are the same costume. Yeah, I just think it's a new model. It's a new game. That's what I chalk it up to. Because even if they weren't, then what's the timeline there? Like, Afton gets scooped out of the back, not scooped, that's a bad word to use. Afton gets recovered from the back room and brought to FNAF 3 for Fazbear Frights. And then What is he doing between the burning of Fazbear Frights and the opening of FNAF 6? He's making a new suit for himself then? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess you already have evidence of Baby, Ennard. Yeah, just Baby and Ennard making new suits for themselves for FNAF 6. But they're not as scrap. Scrap Trap is not as scrappy as Scrap Baby and Molten Freddy. Those are like very put together with just random parts. Scrap Trap is still like a full bunny suit, you know? So I don't know. I personally feel like Scrap Trap and Spring Trap are the exact same. It's just a difference of the model for the newer game. That's my opinion though. I believe they're also possessed because of things like Chica removing her beak. I don't know why Chica removing her beak would necessarily say that the toys are possessed. It is an odd quirk. Toy Freddy's eyes going black. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know how that would signify them being possessed, but interesting topics to bring up. Where did I get the book from? Barnes & Noble. I bought it like a week ago from Barnes & Noble, even though it releases today. Barnes & Noble had it early and let me buy it. Costume probably fell off during the fire in FNAF 3, so Afton replaced it. I guess, but like, at the end of the day, does that really affect any part of the lore, whether it's a new suit or not? It's still William Afton at the end of the day. Like, we know that for a fact. So I don't know if that really necessarily matters. Where were we? Did we read Foxy Go Go Go? No, we didn't. Okay, Foxy Go 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 has a completely different map, which now has 2 rooms, Pirate Cove and a party room. The game reveals that 5 children are murdered. Very straightforward. No idea what restaurant this is supposed to be with only 2 rooms being seen there. I can't imagine just Meat and Eyes looking for a new suit. No, that's creepy. That's creepy. Chica's Party World. Chica's Secret Party could be another cover up by Fazbear Entertainment. We're not there yet. I would like to at least get through like FNAF 1 through 4 maybe, and then skip to Chica's Secret Party. I don't know. If you guys really want to skip ahead to Chica's Secret Party, we can, but I definitely want to at least finish this chapter. We have like 2 pages left. Okay, Take Cake to the Children is believed to take place at Fredbear's Family Diner. So there were theories recently saying that this was not Fredbear's Family Diner. So I don't know what to think about this anymore. But basically the whole theory that this is not Fredbear's Family Diner hinges on what you believe about Midnight Motorist, and that's a whole other can of worms. That's believed to be Fredbear's Family Diner since the map consists of only 1 room and a street, denoting a smaller location. And the playable Freddy looks different from the Freddy in Save Them, meaning an older version of Freddy. Theorists assert the game shows Purple Guy's first murder. We don't necessarily know if that's the first, but it probably is. This seems to be confirmed after Pizzeria Simulator showed the child to be the daughter of Cassette Man. Cassette Man is believed to be Henry Emily, the inventor of the animatronics. The child later possessed the puppet. So, okay, that all lines up. We've got Give Gifts, Give Life. It shows 5 dead children as well as the puppet, but at a seemingly different location. It's 1 room, but the room's dimensions are different from Take Cake. They're all different. And then we got 1 note down here. On a final disturbing note, the models for the dead children are different from game to game. Supporting theorists claim that there could be 4 unique sets. 4 unique sets of victims? What? Are we saying that the Give Gifts, Give Life murders are different from the Save Them murders? What the fuck? I thought there were 2 sets. I mean, 3 if you want to include Charlie, but Charlie's not a set. That's a one-off murder. 4 sets? What? What could possibly be the 4 sets? That's insane. 4 sets of murder? I don't even understand that. I mean, there's Foxy Go Go Go, there's Save Them, there's Give Gifts, Give Life. And then there's the Charlie one. I guess that's 4 sets just in FNAF 2, but I would not equate those to 4 different sets of murders. I would equate those to 1 set of murders plus Charlie. Like, what? It's crazy. Character encyclopedia book I first believed to be a cover-up by Fazbear Entertainment hiring poor writers. You think the character encyclopedia is an in-game book or an in-universe book? Nah, I think they just did a shit job on the character encyclopedia is what happened. I don't know what happened with that book. But all right, let's move on. We've got strategy specifics and evolution of strategy for 1020 mode. Oh, wow, this goes really in depth. Okay. So first iteration, the Cam 2 strategy. Keeping your camera on Cam 2 at all times After you click once, hold the mouse button down so you just have to hover over the wine music box area on cam 2. Okay, so you're leaving it on the... Oh, cam 11, not cam 2. You're leaving it on the puppet the whole time. Wind about 7 ticks each time you go into cam 11, and if Toy Bonnie has just moved across your view, maybe even go up by 8 ticks, but be fast with your mouse. Put on your mask every time you go back to the office view. Check the left vent, flash the hallway, check the right vent. So this is the one where you're sweeping back and forth the whole time. And respond accordingly with the mask. Cross your fingers that Toy Bonnie doesn't take forever to start his animation. Rinse and repeat, but know that multiple Toy Bonnie appearances and being too fast with the mask takeoff with vent animatronics can end a night very easily. So you really have to make sure you're wearing the mask long enough. Then we have the second iteration strategy, the right vent camp strategy. For this strategy, mainly ignore the left vent animatronics and focus especially on Toy Bonnie. Let the desk animatronics pull down the camera whenever possible and use your mask whenever you're being attacked. Wait about 3/4 of a second to take off the mask after the blackout phase, and be sure to flash Foxy when possible. If there are no desk animatronics, go back to the first iteration cam 11 strategy. Oh, you change strategies midnight based on desk animatronics? That's weird. I don't know why you would change up strategies midnight. Yeah, Pickle, I just asked your age a while ago. We're good. You don't need to continue saying you're not young. So on and back, what did I miss? We're just finishing up FNAF 2. We're still reading through. We're only on page 34. Like, we have not made it that far. Where is it? There it is. 34. But that is the strategy for that. There's more over here, though. I don't know what this is. Newer iterations. Click cam 4, cam 7, and cam 10 before going to cam 11 each time you flip up the camera. This will stall several animatronics, including Toy Bonnie. Oh, that's a good one. Stalling Toy Bonnie might be useful for 1020. Winding the music box. These minus strategies. These minus strategies using the cam stalling dynamic to stall multiple animatronics, making the office phase much easier to handle, especially if you've prevented Toy Bonnie entirely. What do you mean these minus strategies? I don't know what that means. And then we have images down here. That's Bonnie? That kind of looks like Candy, I feel like. Then you've got Withered Foxy and Withered Freddy. Very nice, very nice. I think we have one more page of theories here. Fan theories, what we know about the killer. Okay, he's associated with the color purple. Duh. The real question is, what does the purple coloring mean? This could be part of his uniform or something else. Well, I think at this point, we are wise enough to know that when we see purple guy in FNAF 2 and 3, and 4 technically, and 4, that is just meant to show that he is bathed in shadow. He's in darkness. He's not physically purple. But in FNAF's sister location, if you beat the bonus night with Ennard, you do see Michael Afton becoming a decrepit purple person, a literal purple guy. And then Ennard spits himself out, and then somehow Michael Afton uses Remnant to possess his own dead body. Yep, those are current theories. But Michael Afton is or was purple. William Afton was never actually purple. So people like my comment, but it depends about your opinion. What comment was that? The character encyclopedia? Yeah, I just think they fucked that book up. Maybe they're the same sets. Maybe the Ultimate Guide isn't that reliable. That it could be. The Ultimate Guide might not be very reliable. We don't know. I don't know. Let's keep reading. So, next bullet point. He might be a security guard. In Save Them, Purple Guy has a golden object pinned to his chest. This has led many to believe that he's a security guard and the object is a badge. He may know how to work the animatronics. In Night 4, you're instructed not to make eye contact with the animatronics as someone may have tampered with their facial recognition systems. Oh, someone tampered with their facial recognition systems. That does not imply, going back to our earlier conversations, that debunks the theory that we're saying that toy animatronics are acting up because they got stuffed with the bodies of the dead kids. So we still don't know what happened to the DCI. But that's fine. All signs point to Purple Guy as the culprit. After all, if he's in the criminal database, he would need to disable their facial recognition to sneak into Freddy's. And then last bullet points. He was likely an employee of Freddy's. Phone guy on Night 5 warns, the building is on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out, especially concerning any previous employees. Although it's never explicitly stated, Why would phone guy give this warning if the wrongdoing wasn't committed by an employee? And let me just get a bunch of pictures from the game so you can see the puppet on the camera. You can see withered Freddy. And over here we got some more bullet points. He uses a yellow suit to kill. On night 6, the phone guy tells you that someone used one of the suits we had. I should just, you know what? I'm gonna read off the camera on here. I keep looking down, but I feel like it's easier if I look here. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. This matches what we know from the newspaper clippings of FNAF. A man dressed as a cartoon mascot lured the children into a back room. So who is he? There are a few theories circulating. Aside from the theory that purple guy is just a random security guard at Freddy's operating the day shift, phone guy is a suspect for many. This is true. This is like one of Matt Pat's original theories that phone guy is purple guy, which technically at some point is true, I think. People say that the rare purple guy the rare purple guy kill and save them shows purple guy holding a phone, a clear link between the two. Others believe purple guy could be you in those end of night hallucinations. You're clearly inside a mascot costume, just like the killer. Plus, maybe those hallucinations of "it's me" are the confessions of a guilty mind. It's me, I did it, I killed those kids. Yeesh, talk about a telltale heart. Then we get a bunch of pictures of the minigames again. Zoomed in pictures of Foxy Go Go Go. We've got, this is the Give Cake minigame. I'm blanking on the name now. And this is the Save Them minigame. All right, we are finally on to chapter 3. Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Oh, look at that artistic rendering of Springtrap with the FNAF 1 Bonnie Endo. Or not Endo, just costume. Yeesh. I like to think William actually looks like he does in the minigames. You think William Afton is also purple, just like Michael Afton? Yo, welcome back, Lolbit Enjoyer. How far are we? We just got to the start of FNAF 3. We are on page 38. Not far. We have not made it far. I've been talking with chat a lot, though. Here, we can zoom this out a little. Here we go. Ah, you can see we're starting FNAF 3. Help Wanted and special delivery games, all done by Fazbear Entertainment. Though back then they weren't into games based on troubling history reputation. Special delivery is not a game in universe. Special delivery, you can order animatronics to be delivered to you for like birthday parties, but in universe, they're not like going around with a phone capturing Remnant or whatever. Special delivery does exist in universe. It's just not a game in universe. It is an actual delivery service. Help Wanted is an in-universe game. Help Wanted 2 isn't. Help Wanted 2 is like a training simulation in universe, but the game of Help Wanted and all of FNAF 1 through 7 are in universe games. It's very confusing. You'll find out who the phone guy is by reading the week before. No, I know the phone guy is Ralph. I'm saying there were other theories that said, oh, no. You know what? It was based on what I was referring to. Matt Pat brought this up because of the first movie. Because in the first movie, you see William Afton on the phone and he says like a classic line. So that was what he was connecting the theory to. But yes, I am aware that Ralph is the phone guy. I know that. I haven't read all the interactive novels. The only one I've read is VIP, which is the free one. But I am aware of all the lore in them. At least most of it. I don't know. There was one interactive novel I don't know the full lore for, but one of them was Return to the Pit. Okay, let's keep reading. Okay, for FNAF 3. If you thought it was impossible for FNAF to take a darker turn, allow us to introduce you to Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Set 30 years after the horrific events that took place at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, though which specific events is up for debate. So that's, most people theorize that that's after the events of the first location, not the FNAF 1 location. I don't know though. This game operates on 2 disturbing levels. In the present, you're working at a horror attraction built around the mythos of the infamous murders. Only one animatronic is real, but the phantoms, hallucinations, of other animatronics also appear every now and again to mess with you. Sorry, lost my place for a sec. A perpetually failing network of ventilation, audio, and cameras adds to the torment and needs constant attention. In a series of 6 mini-games, you're working to gain closure for the souls of the 5 children who were murdered at the hands of the purple guy many years ago. These mini-games are difficult to access, must be completed in the correct order, and even after you successfully do complete them, your current night gets reset. It can be a frustrating process, but one that's ultimately satisfying. That leads you to the good ending of FNAF 3, that is the happiest day. And let's move over to the Freddy Scoop. So the Freddy Scoop is like a sub-chapter in each chapter. You know, it's a subsection. What is this? I don't know what this is. Let's read this. It's the dawn of a new era for FNAF, and since old phone guy is most likely dead, that means a new phone guy. That means a new phone guy? That, what? Grammar? Hello? It's the dawn of a new era for FNAF, and since old phone guy is most likely dead, that means a new phone guy. That, they phrased that very weirdly. I don't like that. It's been 30 years since the last Freddy Fazbear's Pizza shut down, and a company is trying to capitalize on the restaurant's gruesome past by launching Fazbear's Fright, the horror attraction. I didn't know that was possessive. I thought it was just Fazbear Frights. The attraction opens next week, so they have to make sure everything works and nothing catches on fire. Always important. You don't want your buildings to burn down. After talking to the original designer of the building, the company finds a boarded up room inside the restaurant that they're planning to investigate. On night 2, new phone guy, he's referred to as Phone Dude in FNAF 3 since it's a different person. I don't know why they don't say Phone Dude in this. But Phone Dude reveals they've obtained a real animatronic, Springtrap, which they're using for the attraction. It's loose inside the building, but don't worry, it'll find you. Yo, what? Nico got a 105.11? No shot, dude. That is insane. He's got the lowest sob of anyone I know that's playing the game. He's like less than a minute off world record now? Absolutely absurd. How much time is left on his subathon, Draggle? Because he's still pushing for it. He's going really far. All right, these posters back here that are obscured, those are the Phone Dude's messages. We don't need to read those. We will read this. We will be reading this. That's kind of crazy. Nitro's on fire, man. He's doing really, really well. Like, good for him. I'm happy for him. All right, let's continue reading. Draggle, feel free to update me on more stuff. Seems to be keep increasing. Well, yeah, if people keep donating, it keeps increasing. I'm shocked by how low his timer has been because I've seen countless times where it's like less than 2 hours on the clock. So he just keeps getting these like random large donations. Good for him though. I'm glad the subathon's doing well. I definitely want to see him push this game far because I loved watching Nitro push for sub hour on Mario Odyssey. And just imagine, we're still in the infancy of this game. Like, Donkey Kong Bonanza is still not even a full 6 months old. And we're still discovering new strategies and glitches. Like, it's great. It's great. Bro's gonna get the other Switch. Mario 3D sub hour. Wait, what? He's doing Mario 3D sub hour. Huh? What's y'all's favorite FNAF theory? There was one from John FNAF that I really liked. What was this? Oh, so John FNAF had a theory that both Psychic Friend Fredbear and just the regular Golden Freddy plushie with the walkie-talkie in it both existed at separate times. I like that theory. It's clean and concise that both iterations of the character can exist. There can be the like nightmare experiments, and the crying child can still have this imaginary friend. I think it works so perfectly. I love that theory. I don't know the name of that video, but I highly suggest anyone watching that if they haven't already. Go watch all of John FNAF's theories. They're great. They're great. It's a DK game, but it's like the second Mario 3D game on Switch. Oh, I see what you're saying. He's gonna get the other Mario 3D sub hour. I gotcha. I read the context of that wrong. I understand now. I thought you were saying he was gonna switch to some other game and do like multiple Mario games or something. I don't know. I got confused, but now I understand what you're saying. Yes, he absolutely will get the sub hour on this game. 100%. I don't think anyone has a chance of taking sub hour before Nitro does. Even if the restricted category finds new glitches and routes to lower the time, there's no way someone gets it before Nitro. And I think Nitro said he might run the restricted category as well. I love the theory that Jeremy Fitzgerald is the Bonnie bully from FNAF 4, and that Fritz Smith is the Freddy bully. Well, Fritz Smith isn't a real person. Fritz Smith is Michael Afton. I have seen the theory that Jeremy Fitzgerald is both the Bonnie bully and Cassie's dad. I don't know if I believe all of that, but I also did see another theory that ignoring Bonnie bully, that Cassie's dad is the what is it? The maintenance tech, whatever you want to call it, that went down into sister location. Because there were people, I think, that survived that went down to the sister location bunker before Michael. What happened to the music? Video paused. Fuck you, YouTube. Yes, I want the music to continue. Did I tell you to pause? No. What is this? Man, YouTube has gone to shit. YouTube has really gone downhill in the last like 6 months. It's been significantly, maybe not 6 months, but YouTube is getting worse. I don't know if any of y'all have noticed that as viewers. YouTube is getting worse. Okay, let's continue reading though. We've been on this page for a while and haven't read it. Things we learned from old Phone Guy's training cassettes. In addition to the Springtrap animatronic, new Phone Guy has also found some remaining training tapes. Recorded by, you guessed it, the original Phone Guy. That's Ralph. Springlock suits. At one point, Freddy has had 2 Springlock suits that doubled as Freddys, not just Freddy. Had 2 Springlock suits that doubled as animatronics and mascot costumes. So that's Fredbear's Family Diner, you have Golden Fredbear, and you have Golden Bonnie. To wear the suits as a costume, you can use a hand crank to recoil and compress the animatronic parts around the sides of the suit. Springlocks must be fastened tight in order to keep the animatronic parts compressed, leaving room for a human occupant. The slightest pressure or moisture can cause the springlocks to trip, releasing the machinery and crushing the person inside the suit. I wish I had a crushing sound effect I could play right there. When the springlock suits are in animatronic mode, they're preset to walk toward any sound they hear. On night 4, Old Phone Guy informs you of an incident at the restaurant's sister location, which is not actually sister location bunker, involving multiple springlock failures, at which point the company deemed the suits unsafe and retired them. I don't know if that's referring to the Bite of 83 or if they knew about Afton's springlock incident. I don't know. I don't know what that's referring to. To be honest, I'm considering believing that Michael Afton is Fred Smith. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. That's pretty widely accepted at this point. Like, as far as I know, that's like very widely accepted. Okay, safe rooms. Also gleaned from Old Phone Guy's audio is the existence of safe rooms within each restaurant. There's a designated safe room in every Freddy's location. This room is not included in the digital map programmed into the animatronics or in the building's security blueprints. This room is hidden to customers, invisible to animatronics, and is always off camera, meaning there are no security cameras in these rooms. On night 4, the Phone Guy reminds employees under no circumstance should a customer ever be taken into this room and away from the show area. On night 6, on night 6, it's announced that the room is being sealed and that employees should never talk to anyone else of its existence. No one is allowed to enter the room to collect their belongings either. So this happens after Afton gets springlocked, and then he's trapped in that room until Fazbear Frights opens up, or Fazbear's Fright. Yo, what up, Ruby Rudy? Welcome on into the dojo. What does that mean? 13 cookie tote? Hey, I don't know what you're saying. Not gonna lie, you seem like a cool dude. Hey, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it, Dave. I don't stream FNAF too often. Whenever there's a new game, I definitely stream FNAF. But on the channel, you can find tons of Mario Odyssey speedruns, Donkey Kong Bonanza speedruns, and I also play modded playthroughs of Mario Odyssey as well, whether it's online mode or randomly teleporting Mario around the kingdom every 10 seconds. I will be posting a video, an edited video on that one soon. And if you really like that, coming up at some point next year, we don't have an official release date, but at some point next year, an entire recreation of Mario Galaxy 1, along with 500 or so extra moons, is being made for Mario Odyssey. So I will definitely be playing that mod as soon as it releases. But thank you all for the sub. I appreciate it. Let's continue reading the Night End minigames. At the end of each night, a minigame begins with you in control of an animatronic, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy. The goal is to follow Shadow Freddy through the restaurant toward the safe room. After you try to enter the safe room, expect to be dismembered by Purple Guy, ending the minigame and the night. Although you will always need to die to continue, die in quotations, to the next night, you are still able to wander a short distance. Heading to the left is the parts and service room. Among the parts, there appears to be a human skull. I don't remember that one. Maybe it's some of these pictures down here we can show off. I don't remember the human skull part. If you continue down past Pirates Cove area into a hallway, You'll find hints for unlocking these minigames required to access the good ending. See pages 48 to 51 for the minigame hints. So that's talking about, you can even see it. This picture's like so awkward. Nope, can't focus. There we go. Okay, so this is the follow me minigame. It's printed at an awkward angle on this page. So I'm like trying to hold it as flat as possible. But if you notice in the bottom left over this way, there's a bunch of like white numbers there. This room gives you hints on how to access the various minigames that then lead you to the good ending, the happiest day ending. So we'll see that when we read this. We'll get there soon. Let's move on. Night 5. Night 5 end minigame. On night 5, you control a crying child during the post-night minigame. Go toward the safe room as before, and you'll see dismembered animatronics along the way. You're now able to enter the safe room where the animatronics could not go before. Once inside, you'll notice 4 crying children blocking Purple Guy from leaving the room. Eventually, he dons what appears to be the empty spring lock suit. Sure enough, it soon malfunctions and crushes him, and that's how we get the, this is not the happy ending, but that's how we get the cutscene that leads the happiest day. It's great. Watching Afton get crushed, love it. Or sorry, that doesn't lead to happiest day. That's just, I think you just see that at the end of the game. You see that on the bad ending too. This might take hours until we reach the animatronic inventory. I can skip ahead at some point if we want. Sorry if I missed that message a little bit, Enjoyer. But let us continue. Let us continue. We've also got Nightmare Mode. I have not beaten this on Nightmare Mode. We are going to need to go back to FNAF 3 at some point. Like I said, I haven't 100%ed any of these games, but I've beaten almost all of them. I just haven't 100%ed. Actually, I think at this point, the only FNAF games I have not beaten are Ultimate Custom Night, because we're going to start that for the first time tomorrow, and FNAF 4, which I'm on like night 4 for, and terrified of that game, so I don't know if I'll ever beat that one. Okay, as with 2 prior games, a more difficult night is unlocked after the 5th, called simply and most appropriately Nightmare. On this night, the ventilation systems fail a lot more quickly than it normally does, so get ready for a challenge. But if you flip your camera quickly and frequently, you never have to reset ventilation. And Springtrap won't attack unless he goes through a vent directly to the office. Oh, interesting. I don't know he had to take the vent. If you beat the game's Nightmare Mode, regardless of how you played the minigames, you'll see a newspaper informing you that the new attraction has burned down to the ground due to faulty wiring. But is that Springtrap watching you from the background in the article's picture? Maybe this isn't the end of the Freddy saga after all. Wait, what? Huh? Oh shit. They lighten it here. You can't see it in this image at all, but Springtrap is there. I never knew that. So you have direct proof in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 that Springtrap lives through the fire. Wow. That's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Cool. Let's keep going. We got some more down here. If you play the game straight through after the Night 5 end minigame, you'll see an image of broken animatronic heads, each with a lit eye. Golden Freddy having 2. Faded text in the background reads bad ending. And it says the blurred text around the article contains development stories from game creator Scott Cawthon. Oh, wait, what? The blurred text around the article. All of that? I guess it's really not that legible. That's interesting, though. I never knew that. I'm not going to try and read all that, but that's cool. That's very cool. They don't call out Golden Freddy having 2 eyes lit there, but that's okay. That might just be part of the theories. Now we're into gameplay and strategy. Revenge of the Math. Not counting failure due to a phantom animatronic, you have a certain number of audio uses before the system goes down. Oh, I didn't know that. Your number of uses changes each night. Night 1, you can do it unlimited. Night 2, you get 10 before it goes down. So that's, you have to restart audio devices. Okay. You can see down here, audio device restart. I didn't realize that was a thing. So night 5, you only get to use the audio twice before it goes down. That's crazy. That's very strict. Also, haven't we seen this drawing multiple times in here now? Are we back to like a survival logbook thing where things in red pen have significance? I could have sworn I saw that drawing. I could have sworn I saw that drawing. I did. Math. Oh, it's Math Man. It's Math Man. They brought up Revenge of the Math. It's just Math Man. There's no lore. Pack it up, guys. It's just Math Man. Ay, ay, ay. But he says, the camera system will go down more rarely than other systems. This mainly results from overuse. The ventilation system most frequently fails due to the phantom animatronics. And similar to the audio, the other two systems fail more frequently as the week progresses. Note that it takes between 6 to 8 seconds each to restart the camera's audio or ventilation. It takes between 12 to 14 seconds to reboot them all at once. If 2 or more systems go down, we recommend rebooting everything. Interesting. Okay, I didn't know whether or not that was worth it. I don't think I ever really rebooted all, but if 2 or more are down, just reboot all. Cool. Then we've got the map. Let's get that to all fit on screen. There we go. Mapping the animatronics and special events in FNAF 3. Oh, there's also special events here? Okay. Remember, Springtrap can appear anywhere on the map and has no set path, but he can only move to certain spots from each camera. So he can warp... Wait, what? He can only move to certain... Okay, so he can move from any camera he's currently on to a set of a few different cameras. But which camera he goes to will always be random. There's no set path. Okay, I see. I see. So the vent cameras are 11 through 15. Camera 8, double-click the Balloon Boy poster. Oh, this is telling you how to get all the mini-games for the good ending. Okay, so click the Balloon Boy poster for BB's Air Adventure minigame. Phantom Puppet appears here. That's also camera 8. Camera 7, use the arcade machine to access Mangle's Quest minigame. Phantom Chica can appear there. Camera 6, note the cupcake for Chica's party minigame. Okay, so there's something in Cam 6. The Office, tiles on the wall, opens Stage 01 minigame. Toy Bonnie on the desk opens the Shadow Bonnie minigame. Toy Bonnie on the desk opens the Shadow Bonnie minigame? What was the Shadow? Oh, I remember the Shadow Bonnie minigame. It's super glitchy. Camera 2, note the cupcake for Chica's party minigame. Wait, it says that on camera 2 and 6? I guess there's multiple ways to get to that. Camera 3, click the puppet poster for the Happiest Day minigames. That's on night 5, you do that. And camera 4, Phantom Mangle appears here. That's it. There's a possibility with ventilation errors for Springtrap to show up in a camera in which he is not actually present. What? Why would that glitch not be fixed? There's a possibility with ventilation errors for Springtrap to be on a camera where he's not actually there. That's weird. That's very weird. What up, the Trigger Squad? Welcome on into the dojo. All right, let's move on. We've got some characters here to read about. Starting with Springtrap. Zoom in a little more for you. Okay, Springtrap is the only real animatronic in this game and the only one who can kill you. He has no set starting position. What? Doesn't he start? I thought he has a set starting position. I thought he had to start. Yeah, I don't know about that. It said before he has no set movement pattern, but I think he always starts at the same camera, no? If he doesn't, that sucks. You can use the audio device to lure Springtrap to adjacent rooms, but it won't work if he's more than one room away. Springtrap only moves to rooms adjacent to his last position or connected to it by an air vent. If Springtrap enters a room with an adjoining vent, it's best to seal it off by double-clicking on that camera. When Springtrap approaches the office, he'll slink past the window. We have the Phantom animatronics. There's a nice picture of Springtrap over there. It's like the classic pose. Phantom animatronics. In addition to Springtrap, there are animatronic hallucinations to deal with. All of them will cause systems to malfunction unless you take quick action. And suspiciously, all the animatronics are burned. Why would the Phantom animatronics be burned? That would imply whoever is seeing these phantoms, these non-real things, would have seen them before somewhere else. And if they've seen them before somewhere else, that means they've seen a burned version of them before somewhere else. So it goes along with the theory that Michael Afton is the player character in every single one of these FNAF games in the first 3, technically first 4, and sister locations, first 5. No, just all of them. It's just all of them. It's 1 through 6. Oh, I think Mike Afton plays 1 through 6. I lost my train of thought. The phantoms. It would imply that Mike's been to all of the previous Freddy locations that have burned down and seen burned versions of these animatronics. So it all loops back. The theories make sense. But we can read about the individual phantoms. Let's read about trapping Springtrap first. This one's kind of in a weird position on the page. That's the best I can do for you guys to read that. Hopefully that works. The Springtrap doesn't hop through vents too much. You can bounce in between cameras 9 and 10. However, cam 9 and 10 are both connected to dangerous vents. Cam 10 connects with a vent leading directly to the office. So I think that's where you want to get him stuck. You want him in cam 9 and 10, then just close vent 14. And cam 9 connects directly to cam 11, which leads down just before cam 1. Either one is a point of no return for Springtrap in the standalone game. Keep in mind that you can only shut off one of these cameras at a time. If you leave to reset anything via the maintenance panel, for example audio, Springtrap can move quickly enough through either one of those vents, so whichever one is open becomes an immense danger. If it gets closer, use the audio to get Springtrap into cam 5 room, and then close off the vent, and you can trap him in there for a while using the audio and keeping all the vents closed. So FNAF 3 keeping Springtrap trapped is very tough. Eventually, we will have to go back and do that because I have not beaten Nightmare Mode for FNAF 3. We did, actually, I don't even know if we got the Happiest Day ending. I don't know if we made it far enough for Happiest Day. I beat it and got the bad ending, I know. But we'll go back to that eventually. Okay, so then we got some of the phantoms. So Phantom Freddy, he crosses the hallway window before appearing inside the office. Avoid a jump scare by watching the cameras or maintenance panel until he passes. Interesting. These strategies are going to be really helpful when we go back to the game. Then we have, it just says disable ventilation. I don't know why. Phantom Balloon Boy can appear in any camera except the vents. Oh, maybe that's what he does. Because look, Phantom Freddy is tied to disable ventilation, so maybe that's what he does, and I would assume Balloon Boy does the same. I might be wrong about that. I don't know. But then over here, we've got Phantom Chica, who can appear on camera 7 in the arcade machine monitor. I guess that's connected to disable camera and ventilation. Phantom Foxy only appears in the office. Pull up the cameras to avoid his jump scare. Phantom Mangle appears on camera 4, hanging from the ceiling and screeching. She will then appear in the office behind the windows unless you lower the monitor or switch the cameras as soon as he appears. So yet again, every instance of Mangle, we get she and he in the same description. It's great. The running gag is so funny. But that'll disable your audio. And then you've got the Phantom Puppet appears on camera 8. Switch to another camera fast, or it will appear in the office and block you from using the maintenance panel and the monitor for a prolonged period of time. That is very bad. Not even being able to use the maintenance monitor is really bad. And then Glitch Zone. You can edit the save file while the game is open and access all the way down to negative 999,999. No, sorry, 999,999,999. The attack formula is pretty odd, so it's rare that Springtrap will attack on a negative night, but it's still possible. What the hell is a negative night, man? What is this? I've never heard of that glitch before, but okay. What else do we have? Continue game. Oh, there's more game glitch. Okay. I didn't realize there were so many glitches. I knew there were like cheats for skipping a part of a night. I didn't know there were so many glitches though. Okay, in FNAF 1, 2, and 3, you can also glitch click on continue game. If your save file has a value above the normal night range, and if you're lucky, you can access unintended nights. Nights 8, 9, night 1987. By clicking on continue game at just the right time, you have to be very precise after scrolling your mouse fast across multiple menu options. What does that do? I've never heard of this glitch, but I don't know what it does. Okay, there's something about camera 7 and 12. These two cameras connect and are away from any other vents, so they are padded enough to allow you some leeway if you go to reset your cameras. With this strategy, many people favor moving Springtrap to cam 6 and 7. Note that cam 5 leads to your vent in cam 13, which is dangerous, but if you can catch Springtrap going through cam 13 quickly enough, you can pull him back to cam 2 with an audio lure. There's so many different cameras, I can't keep this straight. With this strategy, it's best to keep Springtrap in cam 7 and preventatively shut cam 12 to avoid a point of no return. Keep a free audio lure when possible in case you find Springtrap sneaking over to Cam 5. This is so much to remember. It's best not to use Cam 8 at all if possible. The puppet's attack takes up way too much time, and you have to reset ventilation afterwards, which makes it hard to recover if you're late in the game, and not at the start of the night. Okay, that's, I guess Cam 7 and 12 are good. I don't know. A lot of that information went in one ear and out the other. I can't focus on that much information at once. Forcing Phantom Freddy. Phantom Freddy will stop appearing after he startles you once on any given night. So if you force Phantom Freddy to attack by staring at him in the office, no panels open or open closing, you can reset after his 1 a.m. appearance and startle, and then not have to worry about him at 3 or 5 a.m. Okay, that's interesting. Note that with the Fast Nights cheat, Phantom Freddy will appear at 2 a.m. I don't even know what the Fast Nights cheat is. I guess you unlock like a cheats menu when you beat the game, I think. But that's interesting. So getting Phantom Freddy on purpose is a very good strategy. Then we've got the Springtrap stare down. Everyone knows this strat. Usually, the forced Phantom Freddy strategy will help a lot with a late game stare down. So if you go to your maintenance panel with Springtrap at the door, there's a good chance, especially on later nights, that he will attack while you're in the panel and trying to reset something. But you will have some time where you can stare him down. He won't attack if you're staring at him with the monitors down and without a ventilation error. However, if you're blacked out, you're basically done. Without the Fast Nights cheat, it's usually successful to stare down Springtrap either after Phantom Freddy has crossed entirely or a little bit into 5 a.m. with Phantom Freddy already forced earlier in the night. Not me gasping and choking on my saliva. So does that mean as soon as it's 5 a.m. and Springtrap's at your door, as long as you don't get a ventilation error, you could just stare at him for a whole hour? Does that actually work? Does anyone in chat know if that strategy works? Because that would be absolutely crazy if that worked. Okay, moving on, we got the camera wafting. You can technically waft your camera with very few frames in camera and hold off Springtrap's attacks indefinitely if you don't break rhythm. So that sounds like a speedrun strategy, honestly. Camera wafting also has to be done frequently enough to prevent Phantom Freddy from startling you if you're too inactive without flipping the camera panel. That sounds tough, but honestly, strategy I'd be worth trying. And then we got the Cam 2 strategy. For this strategy, try to force Springtrap over to Cam 2, close the vent in Cam 15 to prevent an instant death. And if you see Springtrap in front of you, use an audio lure immediately in Cam 2 to bring him back there. If Springtrap runs across your view at 4 a.m., there's a good chance that you can still win with a stare down. If it's 5 a.m. and he starts to run across, do a ventilation reset, and then get out of the cameras when possible for a stare down. Phantom Freddy will complicate this unless you've already forced him to startle you. So yeah, you really can stare down Springtrap from 5 to 6 a.m. That's pretty impressive. And then what? More? Are these all the minigames? Okay, these are all the minigames now. So, path to the good ending. To view the game's good ending, you must complete minigames in a specific order. Hints appeared throughout the night end minigames on the walls of a room 1 left and 3 down from the show stage room. So they're just saying where to get the hints. But starting off, we got BB's Air Adventure. The hint for BB's Air Adventure was BB double click, DBL click. Double click on the Balloon Boy poster visible on Cam 8. Control Balloon Boy with WAD, no S. And collect all the balloons. Instead of exiting the game, jump onto the platform above the exit and jump toward the left wall. Passing through this barrier will send you to a pixelated gray screen with terrifying dead balloon boys. Move to the right and you'll find a new playfield containing a rainbow-colored balloon. Jump through the left wall to re-enter the minigame and collect the final balloon. This will restart your night in the main game. That's how you do the BB's Air Adventure game. And we've also got Mangle's Quest. Sorry about the glare. There we go. This game must be accessed on night 2. Its hint was a series of squares that corresponded to button presses. On camera 7, click the arcade machine's buttons in this order: top left, top right, bottom right. So that actually, I'll go back after finishing this. Collect all of Mangle's parts without running into a child. Instead of exiting the game, jump through the secret opening above the exit. You'll enter a pixelated red screen with a large crying version of what looks like the puppet. Move to the left to enter a new section of the game. Jump onto each balloon platform and a cake will appear at the end of the path. Collect it to reset your night. So the button order it's talking about clicking, that corresponds with the image we just saw. Where was that image? This one. So, those buttons right there. Those are the top left, top right, bottom right, and then it says BB double click over here. So that's the hint that it gives you for where you're supposed to go. Very, what is it? Like obscure hints, very, very obscure, but the hints are in the game. Okay, next minigame we've got BB's Air Adventure again. Re-enter the minigame the same as last time you played it. Just like the first time, jump through the secret opening above the exit and collect the balloons. This time, however, you'll land on a series of balloon platforms that lead to a blue platform with a crying gray child. Since you collected the cake in Mangle's quest, you can now give it to the child and end the minigame, and your night will reset. Oh, that's how that works. I didn't realize those two minigames corresponded. Like, you have to get the cake in one to then give it to the child in the next. Very interesting. Then we have Chica's Party. Could this connect to Chica's secret party? Page 234 of this book. We might have to skip ahead and go straight there. I'm very concerned as to what that is. But let's read Chica's Party first. This minigame can be accessed on night 3. The night end minigame hint for Chica's Party was 4 cupcakes. To unlock it, click on the 4 shadow cupcakes located throughout the attraction. See page 43 for that. The 4 cupcakes located throughout the attraction. Wait, what? Page 43. Oh, they show the 4 cupcakes right here. These are the 4 cupcakes on the map. I didn't realize they showed that. I was wondering what that was. I just thought it was a bad picture of Springtrap. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So you grab all the cupcakes. Ask Chica, grab all the cupcakes, and you can find and deliver them to the children in the next room. A hole in the floor leads you to 2 more children and 2 more cupcakes to deliver. To get the good ending, jump through the hole in the floor and enter the next screen. Standing on the platform at the top left, jump to the left 2 more times to enter into a secret screen. Could this be Chica's secret party? No. On this screen, you'll see 2 more balloon platforms that lead up to another child. Walk up to the child and serve them a huge cake. Doing so will end the minigame and reset the night. I believe we got a couple more minigames here. Let's keep going. We have the Stage 01 minigame. This one is very, in-depth. There's a lot involved with this one. All right, this minigame must be accessed on night 4. The hint for Stage 01 was a numerical code, which is literally the hexadecimal code for purple backwards. 395248. This code corresponds to the wall tiles in the office, left on the desk, arranged in a 3x3 grid. Click on each tile as you would dial numbers on a phone. In this minigame, players control Golden Freddy while entertaining children with Spring Bonnie. Jump toward the children to glitch through the wall on the left side of the room. As you fall, you'll see this same stage room twice until you hit the ground. There are actually 9 playing fields arranged in a 3x3 grid. All of them are the same except for the top right and all of them are the same except for the top right and the middle right. Rooms 3 and 6, I guess it says. Room 6 only has 2 children. Follow the path in the map below to get to room 3 and deliver the cake to the lonely crying child. It's kind of crazy how much it repeats, but yeah, you have to glitch through the left wall here, drop all the way down, go up here, glitch up this wall, jump back to the left on top of this, glitch up and in here, up this wall, jump up and in here, glitch up this wall, and then make it into here for the crying child or dead child, whatever it is. Absolutely insane minigame. Then we got a fun fact here. Freddy's fun fact. Oh, there you go. This number backward, 842593, is a hexadecimal number. Is a familiar shade of purple. 395248 is also shown in FNAF Ruin. It is? It is? This can be an employee ID number or a serial number. Maybe one day we'll find out. That was in Security Breach Ruin? What? Where was that in Ruin? I don't remember that at all. I know, the mannequins had some weird numbering on them in Secret of the Mimic, but that was just a year. I don't remember this number being in Ruin. Can anyone in chat confirm that? Can somebody look that up? I don't know where that is in Ruin. I'm going to keep reading, but I want to come back to that. I absolutely want to come back to that. Okay, let me get the Shadow Bonnie minigame. This one's just like super glitched. Okay. The hint for this minigame appeared as a shadow version of Bonnie. To access it, double-click the shadowed toy Bonnie figurine on the right side of the office desk on night 5. This minigame is a mashup of all the others. Pressing 5 phases the character from one game setting into a new purple room. Oh, sorry. No, that's not 5. Pressing S. Pressing S. So like to move downward. Pressing S phases the character from one game setting into the new purple room. Pressing S again phases the character into the previously played minigames. Yes, there's a lot of glitching that happens here. Sorry if you guys can't read this page. There's a child at the bottom left corner of the purple room, but outside the walls. To reach them, press S until you land in DB's Air Adventure. Jump to the upper left platform and into the wall, passing through it and falling to the ground. Walk to the center of the screen and press S to phase back to the purple room. You're now outside the walls and can approach the child and give them cake. So there you see that like purple line going up. That's the wall. There's a child out here. It's a very weird one. I don't think I got a chance to play this minigame in my FNAF 3 playthrough because we did not finish the happiest ending. I ran out of time on stream. We'll go back to it. Later in the week, we'll go back to it. Okay, now we actually have the happiest day minigame. So this is what it's all leading up to. This minigame can be accessed on any night. On cam 3, find the 2 posters on the right side of the room. Double-click the left poster closest to the center of the room. As the puppet, walk past all the partygoers with their cakes. In the last room, a gray crying child sits, watched over by other gray children. Other gray children wearing masks of the animatronics. When you give the child a cake, the same child stops crying and is given a mask of their own, Golden Freddy. All the masks fall to the ground as the children disappear. It doesn't note that the puppet's mask falls a little bit slower, but it is true. And then they reference the good ending. If you beat the game after going through the minigames properly, you'll see the same ending image as before, except now there are no lights in the animatronic eyes. Curiously, the 5th animatronic head, which most believe belongs to Golden Freddy, which it definitely does, is missing from the lineup. Faded text in the background reads the end. And then, as always in any Five Nights at Freddy's game, you can honk Freddy's nose in FNAF 3 by clicking on the poster in the office. You can always honk the nose. You know, you can't do it in the book, unfortunately, but you can honk the nose. Is that it? Or do we... I think we're into fan theories now, right? Or... Nope. Codes, glitches, and secrets. Codes, glitches, and secrets for FNAF 3. I'm, like, ruining the front of this book right now. It's fine. We'll fix it later. Get it bent back down. But, like, yeah, I'm definitely ruining this book right now. Where were we? Codes, glitches, and secrets. Here we go. So the extras option. There is no custom night in FNAF 3. However, beating night 6 opens up an extras option in the main menu. From here, players can view the animatronics jump scares, play the minigames, as long as the good ending was unlocked, and enable some fun cheats. You can speed up time, equip a Springtrap radar to help you find it more easily, and even increase Springtrap's aggression level. We'll pass on that last one. Yeah, I'll pass on that. Here's the extras menu, though. So there's the aggressive cheat, I guess. Wasn't there a nightmare mode, though? Oh, there was a nightmare mode. We've got some rare Springtrap images as well. These are 3 rare Springtrap images that can appear randomly from before the menu screen. All 3 show that there's someone inside the Springtrap suit, someone long dead. Well, I guess we know for certain that he's undead now. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I love those images. Some more rare screens. Don't miss these rare screens from FNAF 3. Camera 2. Retro Freddy poster changes to Spring Bonnie. Is he winking at us? Oh, that is interesting. It does change to Spring Bonnie over there. Cam 4. The Bonnie poster will change to a pink cupcake or a golden cupcake. I don't think I've actually noticed that before. The Office. Crumpled Freddy suit sometimes appears in the corner of the office. Crumpled Freddy? What is that one? Oh, over there. It's kind of hard to see. So that's Golden Freddy. That's just straight up Golden Freddy, no? He's got the top hat. I don't know. The Office. 2 paper plate characters appear on the walls of the office. Oh, that's these 2 images. So there's Paper Pal there, and it's very hard to see, but there is a Paper Pal there as well. And then last one, camera 10, a retro Freddy poster changes to Spring Bonnie. Lots of Spring Bonnie posters. You would almost think that Springtrap is the most notable attraction of this game. Okay, now we're into the lore and theories. This is the last section of FNAF 3. Who are the Shadow animatronics? Though introduced in FNAF 2, Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy don't really take center stage until FNAF 3. Shadow Freddy plays a crucial role in the Night End minigames, while Shadow Bonnie has his own role to play in the Good Ending minigames. Just who are these characters and what are their intentions? Former employees? One theory maintains that Shadow Freddy and Shadow Bonnie are the ghosts of Freddy's employees who were killed by the Springlock suits. Wouldn't that just be William Afton? Were there other employees that got killed by those? On night 4, the phone guy mentions multiple simultaneous Springlock failures. I just assumed that was one suit with multiple Springlocks. That's interesting. I never interpreted it that way, so I don't know what that can mean. But multiple Springlock failures at Freddy's sister location. Sorry. Theorists believe this explains why the Shadow animatronics help the dead children as the ghosts of employees they feel guilty about not being able to stop the murders. And linked to the killer. Interestingly enough, the Shadow animatronics take on a purple coloring, which is heavily associated with William Afton. This is the first mentioning of his name in this book. We still don't even know his name by FNAF 3. That's kind of funny. Shadow Bonnie also appears in Special Delivery when a player collects too much negative remnant, or one would think agony. Or is it agony? What am I? Is that what third term I'm thinking of? Am I getting things mixed up? It's remnant and agony, right? Yeah, agony. Okay, cool. Just making sure I'm right. Welcome back, Kiki. Welcome back to the dojo. Okay, so the player collects too much remnant. Shadow Bonnie appears. Remnant has featured heavily in Afton's plans, but does Shadow Bonnie appear there as an antagonist or as a warning? Who knows? And what we know for sure, so this is like proven facts from the games, apparently. What we know for sure. Shadow animatronics existed prior to the events of FNAF 2 based on their appearance in that game. They don't seem to have a physical form. Unlike the physical animatronics, Shadow Freddy can enter the safe room in FNAF 3 and goes unnoticed by Purple Guy. In the minigames, Shadow Bonnie's figure seems to dissipate and reform often. He is also able to travel to different minigames, something none of the other minigame animatronics can do. And what we wonder about. So we know, the things we know for sure here is that they've existed before FNAF 2 and they don't have physical forms. That's it. But what we wonder about, do they help the children as it seems? In the Night End minigame, Shadow Freddy tries to lead you to the killer who's hiding out in the safe room. In his minigame, Shadow Bonnie gives cake to one of the children. So are they helping? Are they not? We don't know. Yo, Revered, welcome on in, buddy. Book reading's going good. We are almost at the end of FNAF 3. Each section, it kind of breaks up each chapter into sections. So there's like the gameplay, the mechanics of the gameplay, the lore, and then there's codes, glitches, and secrets, and then there's fan theories. And we're in the fan theory section of FNAF 3 right now. Believe it or not, we have made it to page 55. We have made it to page 55. There are almost 400 pages in this book, and my phone is at 18% power, so we're gonna have to stop reading soon. Maybe we can make it through FNAF 4 and then take a break for my phone to charge. Yeesh. How are you, Revered? How are your exams? Or maybe not exams. You said you had projects or something due at midnight last night. So how did those go? Did you finish up? I'm gonna keep reading here, but I look forward to your response. Fan theories. Golden Freddy was a Springlock suit. I mean, yes? Is that a theory? I thought that was common knowledge. I thought that was known, like fact. There's always been a lot of speculation about Golden Freddy, where he came from, why he seemingly can't move, and why he appears and disappears randomly. One theory says that FNAF 3 provides us with the answer. Golden Freddy is a Springlock suit. Theorists point to the crumpled sitting position of Golden Freddy and how it matches the sitting position of the empty Springtrap suit in the Night End minigame on night 5. We don't get a picture of that here. Oh, no, we do. They're talking about the Night End minigame. They're talking about how this is a Springlock suit. It's known to be a Springlock suit, and it's sitting like that, and he's kind of sitting in the same pose, so it's probably a Springlock suit. But fans also believe this could answer why Golden Freddy appears and disappears like a hallucination. The Springlock suits were retired and presumably destroyed. They definitely were not destroyed. No, they weren't destroyed. I don't think so. All that would remain is a ghost of the animatronic. I mean, it's known that Golden Freddy has mystical abilities and can kind of randomly teleport. I don't think that implies he is the same as the shadows? Because we just learned on the page before this, the shadows do not have physical forms. I think that is untrue of Golden Freddy. I think Golden Freddy has a physical form, so I don't think he was destroyed, and I definitely think he's a spring lock. This point seems more solid considering the unique Fredbear encounter in Ultimate Custom Night. The animatronic can be seen by setting Golden Freddy to 1 and all other animatronics to 0, then giving Golden Freddy a death coin when he appears. Could this allude to Golden Freddy's origins as the Fredbear Springlock suit? 100%, yes. Ultimate Custom Night, we see, like, Golden Freddy with the black top hat, and then we also see Fredbear in some of the jump scares with the pink bow tie and pink hat. So, yes, Fredbear, Golden Freddy, same animatronic. Springlock, 100%. Like, I don't know why that's even being called into question. Still, others reject this idea on the basis that Golden Freddy has 4-fingered hands, which would be awkward for a human occupant. Not really. You're not using it as like an actual suit. You're an entertainer. Springtrap has 5 fingers. Okay, Springtrap having 5 fingers is a valid point. And if you adjust the color of the scene using color correction, it turns out the crumpled suit may actually be Shadow Freddy. The greenish hue of the room affects what the suit actually looks like. Wait. What room are they saying could be Shadow Freddy? What? If you adjust the color of the scene, I don't know what scene they're referring to. Using color correction, it turns out the crumpled suit may actually be Shadow Freddy. I wholly disagree with that paragraph. It's Golden Freddy. This image is Golden Freddy. If they're referring to this, that is not Shadow Freddy. That is batshit wild. What? Who has ever said that Shadow Freddy? Okay, we made it to chapter 4. We are officially at the Nightmare animatronics for FNAF 4. Let me see how many pages this is and see if we can feasibly get through it before my phone dies. There's only 1 page of lore and theories for this. That's kind of shocking for FNAF 4. 14 pages? Okay. Let's see if we can get through 14 pages before my phone loses 16% power. Here we go. Chapter 4, Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 marks a huge step for the series. Gone are the security office, the stationary playable character, and the paycheck that wasn't worth much to begin with. But for all the changes, FNAF 4 kept the elements players like the best. 8-bit minigames at the end of each night, perhaps the most nightmare-inducing animatronics. Yeah, agreed with that. And of any game to date, and mysterious Easter eggs that have become the hallmark of the series. That said, the game is punishing. It forces you to crank the volume up in order to hear a variety of subtly distinct sounds. Failing to respond correctly to those sounds results in an eardrum-shattering jump scare. One of the reasons I absolutely hate that game compared to any other FNAF game. It will likely send you and possibly your keyboard flying. Beyond the gameplay, there's a lot to be gleaned here in terms of lore, and FNAF 4 kicked off one of the most intense fan theory debates in the series history. The Bite of 87 versus the Bite of 83. I thought he was going to talk about Dream Theory. We'll get that later. As well as the million simultaneous cries of, "What's in the box?" Let's dig into some of these questions and more. Yeah, we'll never know what's in the box. Bro is literally reenacting Five Nights at Freddy's, but with his phone. I'm just using my phone as a webcam so I can read the book for you guys. Like, that's all it is. It's just an active webcam, you know? I don't have any overhead cam setups. I do have my other camera here. That is, it's my old webcam, but it's a 720p webcam. It doesn't have autofocus, and the book looks like completely washed out. Like, I can show you guys what it looks like. I still have the camera plugged in, I think. If I do this, and I do this, will that work? It's upside down. But look, you can't see a thing on this page. This is completely washed out. How? This camera sucks. I'm so glad I replaced this camera with the current webcam I have. One day I would like to replace the webcams entirely and get a DSLR cam for a face cam, but this is not readable. Even if I like turned off the light. Like, yeah, okay, you can see there's text on the page now, but you're not going to be able to read that whatsoever. So, not using that camera. Let's go back. Here we go. Much better. Much better. Okay, so we're at the Freddy scoop section now. I don't know which thing I should read first, but we'll just read this one because it's over top. After the minigame, you'll find yourself... Wait, after the minigame? Actually, maybe we should start with up here, I think. this is just like sectioned off weirdly. So FNAF 4 begins with a screen that announces 5 days until the party, followed by an 8-bit image of a little yellow Freddy wearing a purple hat. His name is Fredbear, psychic friend Fredbear, in fact. And he reveals that you've been locked in your room. The screen dissolves and you'll see yourself as a crying but alive child in a bedroom with plush toys. The aforementioned Fredbear is a stuffed animal on your bed whose creepy eyes follow your every movement. Using the keyboard WASD, make your way toward the locked bedroom door. You won't be able to open it, but that's okay. The screen dissolves. Tomorrow is another day. Now I can read that next section. After the minigame, you'll find yourself launched into the primary gameplay. You're playing as a child. Well, I guess technically it is a nightmare, but yeah, you're playing as a child, trying to ward off nightmare versions of the animatronics who are attacking you in your bedroom. Like the other games, you need to survive from midnight until 6 a.m. by checking your closet and the hallways outside your room and on your bed where the nightmare animatronics lurk. Before each night begins, you'll also have the chance to skip 2 hours by playing a minigame with Plush Trap. If challenges or cheats are active, this will skip 1 hour. And then there's a bunch of images. We also have your alarm clock will flash a random series of numbers at the end of each night before hitting 6 a.m. I guess, yeah, random fun fact. Revered, you still there? How did your projects go yesterday? I know you had a couple you were working on for that were due at midnight. Okay, now we got all of the mini games here. I guess it's just, oh, it's doing all of the nights. Okay, so the night 1 end mini game, 4 days until the party. Your bedroom door is now unlocked. Fredbear tells you that someone is hiding and he won't stop until you find them. Exit your room to explore the house. Heading back and to the left, you'll end up in the living room with a TV. Walk to the TV and you'll be jump scared by your older brother wearing a Foxy mask. It doesn't specifically say wearing a Foxy mask, but it shows it right there. And that's the end of the minigame. It also says, note the dismembered Mangle toy on the floor. There's a Mangle toy in what's believed to be Elizabeth Afton's room, but she's already out of the picture, presumably. Okay, night 2 end minigame. I want to get rid of that glare. I hate that glare. 3 days until the party. Tonight you're at a Freddys restaurant, but someone has left without you. The game urges you to run toward the exit. If you go left, the game prompts you with, no, don't you remember what you saw? A man in a Fredbear suit blocks the exit to your right. The game urges, find someone who will help. You know what will happen if he catches you. On the next screen, you're told to run past a silhouetted Freddy and Spring Bonnie. Does that look like Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy? But walking forward ends the minigame. So at least they're calling out that they're similar to Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy, or at least that's where their origins could have possibly been from if we're leaning on Dream Theory, but that doesn't exist anymore. Dream Theory is not the correct version of that. Night 3 and minigame. 2 days until the party, you're back at the pizzeria, but this time you could escape. On the way home, talk to the kids you see. One reveals that the upcoming party is for you. At home, head to your bedroom to be jump scared and end the minigame. That's where your brother, Michael Afton, is under your bed with the Foxy mask. Yet again, always scaring you with Foxy. Then we have the night 4 end minigame. I'll put the book back down. 1 day until the party, you're locked in the spare parts maintenance room of the pizzeria, unable to escape. Once again, end up crying on the floor, begging to be let out until the minigame ends. Interestingly enough, that little scrap of information there, right there, does not call out that there is something sticking out of this Freddy suit here, and it's believed that it could be tufts of hair from a child that was stuffed in there. It could also be like wires from the animatronic itself, but I think the more common theory is that it's potentially the hairs of a child's head. Then we got the night 5 end minigame. 0 days until the party. Tonight you're back at the pizzeria with no control. You just have to watch. Your brother and his friends, all wearing animatronic masks, tease you with the Fredbear animatronic. Your head ends up in Fredbear's mouth, followed by a sickening crunch as the animatronic bites down. Night 6 end minigame. Sitting with the plush Fredbear. Someone tells you they're sorry. They tell you that you're broken, but that the speaker will put you back together. You can hear the sound of a heart monitor flatlining. They also do not call out that there's different colored text here. I'm surprised that this is missing so many like crucial details that were part of theorizing. But it's theorized that there's 2 people talking to the crying child here as he dies, because the very last piece of text in the text boxes is a different color. It's a very slightly different shade of yellow or whatever the color is. But they don't call it out here. Very interesting. And then the night 7 end minigame. Interesting that this is like tied on with a note card and very different from the other ones. Like you can see the design is completely different here. Beating Night 7 brings up an image of a locked box. You can click the locks to rattle them, but they won't open. The text reads, perhaps some things are best left forgotten for now. Or forever, because that will quite literally never be solved. We'll never find out what's in the box. And then I skipped it before, but on this last page, you get a full image of the pizzeria as the Bite of 83 happens live. Okay, moving on. Time for gameplay and strategy. I need this if I'm ever going to play this again. With another red pen drawing. This is the third red pen drawing we've seen, but this one is not Mathman. Mathman wasn't versing a dog before, was he? Where did we see Mathman? It's like FNAF 3. No, he's punching, you can't see it. He's punching Spring Bonnie. And then he was in the first one too. Mathman, where are you? Where's Mathman? There he is. So Mathman has defeated Freddy and Springtrap, but now there's just a dog. Could this be Fetch? I know that's from the Fazbear Frights novels. Maybe, who knows? Okay, gameplay and strategy. Sounds. Like we said, everything, this game is punishing on sound. You need to learn how to tune your ear to hear everything. Here's a list of what to listen for. Oh, it's saying there's dog barking in FNAF 4? I don't remember that. Sounds you should disregard. Dog barking, clock chiming. Good luck, those chimes are loud. And distorted radio sounds. Sounds we should listen for are breathing. Before you turn on your flashlight at the doorway, be sure to listen for breathing, as it means an animatronic is outside your room. If you hear it, shut the door and don't open it until you hear footsteps on gravel. This means an animatronic is walking away from or toward your room. A deep slow motion laugh. Nightmare Fredbear or Nightmare has entered your room if that happens. Does that mean they're on the bed behind you? I don't know what that means. That they've entered your room. Metallic sounding giggles. Freddles are accumulating on the bed behind you. Did you know? The Freddle sound effect was a stock sound effect from the pigs being slaughtered. From pigs being slaughtered, not the pigs. What the fuck? The metallic sounding giggles are pigs being slaughtered? That's weird, man. I didn't need that piece of information in my life. And then there's dishes clanking, which means Chica's in the kitchen. Pitter patter running followed by a creak means Foxy has entered the closet. Okay. So it's really just the main sounds you want to hear for are the breathing and the gravel. Like if you're at a door, don't close it unless you hear breathing. Don't open it then unless you hear gravel. Okay. Sound is oriented to where you are in the room, so if you hear a sound from your left, you should check the left door. So 360 sound, yeah, makes sense. This includes when you're at a door and can hear breathing, laughing, or other sounds. Okay. And of course, listen carefully for the sweetest sound of all, the clock hitting 6 a.m. That's the only sound you ever want to hear. Hours are exactly 60 seconds long, making each night last exactly 6 minutes. That changes kind of with each game. We've got another map here. There's not really much of a map to show off for FNAF 4. We do have a map here. So random teleports. There's a chance that Chica and Bonnie can teleport to their respective doorways on various nights. This makes movement much less linear. Hallways. If Foxy moves to the middle of a hallway, flash him to send him back. Foxy moves to the middle of a hallway. Okay, flash him to send him back. If you go to the opposite door at this point, he'll enter your room and closet. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. If you see him and ignore him, he'll enter the room. Closet. Nightmare Foxy hides here if he enters your room. Left hallway. Nightmare Bonnie only enters from the side. The bed. Nightmare Freddy only appears from the bed. Nightmare Freddy? Oh, yeah, okay, I guess that's true. He only appears there. Be sure to clear the Freddles. Yeah, always gotta make sure you clear the Freddles. Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare can appear anywhere. Interesting. Oh, Nightmare Fredbear, not Nightmare Freddy. Right. Confusing. Excuse me, I'm confusing the two. Right hallway. Nightmare Chica only enters from the side. And there's a chance that Nightmare Bonnie and Nightmare Chica might move back, even if they're at the doorway. Closing the door. Oh, this is misprinted here. It's off the page. I think that says on. Closing the door on either until you hear a walkaway sound is a healthy strategy. Why wouldn't they move this like an inch inward? How do you not check that when printing the book, bro? There's literally, this is not on the page. Look at this. Look at this. Closing the doorway O. Where's the other letter, bro? It got cut off. Okay, let's keep things moving. We've still got like 7 more pages to go before finishing FNAF 4. And hopefully before my phone dies, because it is on 11%. I don't know if it gets to a certain percentage, if it's just gonna stop acting as a webcam, or if it'll keep acting as a webcam until it dies. But let's keep going. Animatronics. Freddles appear on the bed, but flee when you shine the flashlight on them. The more Freddles there are, the longer it takes to clear them. Nightmare Freddy will attack if you do not check the bed often enough. So, oh, I guess Nightmare Freddy jump scares you if the Freddles are there too long? I don't know. This says if your flashlight flickers, it means your Freddle count is increasing. Interesting, good to know. Nightmare Bonnie attacks from the left hallway or the center of the bedroom. Nightmare Bonnie is very active on the first few nights. Check the left hallway often to avoid a jump scare. Nightmare Chica is very active on the first few nights and attacks the players from the right hallway. While she does not enter the bedroom, her cupcake does, and jump scares just as bad. You can get jump scared by the cupcake there? Where's the cupcake go? Something interesting to note, the full-size animatronics in FNAF 4 have 5 fingers, whereas most of the previous game's animatronics, except for Springtrap, have 4. And then this says over here, Nightmare Bonnie and Nightmare Chica stick to the same sides of the map as their FNAF counterparts, FNAF 1 counterparts. Oh, I never thought about that. That is interesting. Let's move on to Nightmare Foxy. He doesn't appear until night 2. Listen for fast footsteps followed by a creak, or watch the closet door to open or close slightly. Yeah, the closet door will move slightly. Nightmare Foxy goes through a sequence before attacking, starting as a plush, next in his normal form, standing upright, then in a crouching position, and finally with his head poking out of the closet. Watch out for a mini jump scare. To placate Nightmare Foxy, hold the closet doors until he's closed until he resets. We have Nightmare Fredbear. Terrifying image. Nightmare Fredbear shows up at the start of night 5 and on night 6 at 4 a.m. Why only at 4 a.m. on night 6? And can attack from anywhere. When he's around, however, none of your others will be. Oh, what? Can attack from anywhere. When he's around, however, none of the others will be. Audio cues are your friend. If you hear laughter followed by footsteps, check the hallway. Next page. As with Nightmare Fredbear, Nightmare appears from both hallways, but closer. He's also in the closet and on the bed. Nightmare only appears on night 7 and night 8 after 4 a.m. and has the same audio clues as Nightmare Fredbear, but Nightmare's move timers and leniency are much lower than Nightmare Fredbear's. Minigame Fun with Plush Trap. Between nights, you can play a minigame called Fun with Plush Trap to remove 2 hours from the clock. The game starts at 2 a.m. Your goal is to get Plush Trap to land on an X on the darkened hallway floor. When you flick the flashlight on, Plush Trap will either go limp or hide in an adjacent room. If you don't check him enough, Plush Trap will jump scare you. Check on him too often and he won't make it to the X within the times limit. To win, wait until you hear 2 main scurrying noises. Then when you hear the next walking sound, flash your flashlight. Oh, interesting. There's a foolproof way to win every time? Wait, I need that. I need that. And it says, Nightmare is much harder to see at a glance since he blends in with the shadows. Yeah, he's very dark. I mean, look at those terrifying eyes. Look at that, bro. I don't want to see that in my room. And then there's one more thing here. Nightmare Fredbear and Nightmare will run down either hallway. Leniency on Nightmare Fredbear is higher than on Nightmare on reaction time. Sometimes going to the opposite side and letting them teleport to the better closet is a good strategy to reset each one's pathing. Laughs from these two can be completely random. They don't necessarily indicate a teleport to the better closet. That is hard. That is very hard. All right, tips, codes, glitches, and secrets. Here we go. Here we go. The extras menu. Beating Night 5 unlocks the extras menu, allowing players to view animatronics, a making of gallery, progression, jump scares, nightmares, minigames, nightmare mode, and cheats. Some of these options remain locked until players complete Night 6. Cheats include a map of the house with a radar of the animatronics, faster nights, 30 seconds instead of 60, and a danger indicator near the hallway doors. Okay, Night 8. Though there is no custom night in FNAF 4, there is still a way to play the 420 mode. Enter the new extras menu and type 2020-2020 to access this final challenge. All the animatronics are set to their maximum difficulty level, and Nightmare does appear after 4 a.m. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I will ever beat FNAF 4. That game is so terrifying. Some rare screens. Don't miss these rare screens in FNAF 4, which point to a darker plot twist. Turning around to clear Freddles from the bed, you may get one of these 3 rare screens, which show you a pill bottle, an IV, and a vase of flowers on your bedside tables. That's signifying the theory that the crying child is dying. So you can see the pill bottle over there, you can see the bag of IV, and you can see the flower vase. Because you're in a hospital dying. Then we move on. The Night End minigame Easter eggs. On night 2, when you're urged to run past a silhouetted Freddy and Spring Bonnie, turn back to the right first to get a glimpse of Purple Guy helping someone into the Spring Bonnie suit. This is our only glimpse of Purple Guy in FNAF 4. Oh, and this also gives credence to the theory, or the message from Phone Guy, that there were multiple simultaneous Springlock failures. We visibly see here people other than Henry and William in the suit. I mean, I'm assuming that's not Henry, but we would have never known about Henry in FNAF 4 anyway, so I think it's safe to assume that's not him. Night 3, the girl with pigtails along your walk home reveals that the animatronics come to life at night, and that if you die, they hide your body and never tell anyone. On the previous screens, a kid holds a Spring Bonnie plush. I don't think there's a picture associated with that one. Night 3 Easter egg, click on the TV in the living room to watch Fredbear and Friends TV show. Copyright date of 1983. And then the Halloween edition, aka the original release date of FNAF 4 before it got released super early. The FNAF 4 Halloween update replaces Nightmare with Nightmarion, who is a canon character now. Nightmare Foxy with Nightmare Mangle, and both Nightmare Bonnie and Nightmare Chica with their own jack-o'-lantern versions. This update also alters the Night End minigames to fit the Halloween theme. Check out the Halloween decor in the house and at Freddys. Explore the extras menu for terrifying new challenges, including blind mode. Yikes. I'd never want to know what blind mode is. No thank you. Mad Freddy, Insta Foxy, and All Nightmare. Try clicking of the nose of the plush Freddy on the bed. Oh, I guess you can get the squeak sound effect there. That's cool, though. I guess that's for the Halloween update. It's all orange on the screen. You got bats in there. I never knew about all this. And then, yeah, I did know about this. Plush Trap becomes Nightmare Balloon Boy. Moving on, moving on. Movement opportunities. Nightmare Foxy and Nightmare Mangle defense. Flashing the hallway where Foxy ends up can force him to move back to his starting spot. Foxy will enter the room and closet if he is in the mid hallway and you go to the opposite door. You have to keep track of the running footsteps and the stereo side of where where the footsteps end, as well as the louder version of it, to determine when Foxy's ready to enter the room. There's so many sound effects you have to keep track of, man. This is why I hate FNAF 4. I love the lore, but I hate the gameplay. It's way too terrifying. Foxy technically bypasses the nearest spot to the door on either side, but you can still see Foxy when you flash the flashlight if he is at the closest spot in the hallway that he reaches before being able to enter the room. Using the flashlight on the hallway with Foxy in a threatening spot forces Foxy to the back of the hallway where he can move sides and or advance to the middle of his current hallway. Sometimes Bonnie and Chica are greater threats to deal with, so a good plan is to try and keep Foxy away until 3 a.m. or later. Yeah, I could never keep any of this straight. This is so much. Nightmare Bonnie and Nightmare Chica. Use the flashlight when these two are at the nearest spot in the hallways. This will cause a jump. Oh, using the flashlight when they're at the nearest spot will cause a jump scare. If the doors close when they're at their nearest spot, at a movement check, each will retreat to the back of the hallway. Flashing the hallway multiple times can be a plus as long as Bonnie and Chica aren't there. If you do 15 consecutive seconds of bed viewing, Foxy will jump scare you even on night 1. Foxy technically isn't even supposed to be active until night 2. That's funny. So you have a guaranteed way of Foxy just killing you if you stare at the bed too long. One pretty big issue, no preloaded lit areas. FNAF 4 doesn't use optimized image compression, and preloading isn't done on a lot of the hallway and bed flashed images. So it's a good idea to start the night by holding down your flashlight until the flashed version of each area loads. If you don't do this, Nightmare is likely to jump scare you on night 7 and 8. There's more leniency with Nightmare Fredbear, but it's a good idea to hope that your images will load in before you're attacked. I don't understand what that means. That just sounds like bad game development. Okay, a funny exploit. You can technically win nights 1 through 6 without closing the doors and relying on movement and flashlight mechanic. Why would you not explain that in full depth? I need that. I need that exploit. I'm gonna use that exploit if we're gonna beat FNAF 4. I absolutely need that. Are you kidding me? You can beat every night except for like 7 and 8 if they exist, which I think they do. Just on movement and flashlight mechanic. Shit, man, I want that. I need that in my life. And AI levels per night. Night 3 puts Bonnie a bit more in the background, which allows you to learn the dynamics of the other animatronics better as Chica is much more active and Freddy starts to move too. So that's good. They kind of balance the game. Scott balances the game for you. Okay, now we're into lore and theories. This is the last section of FNAF 4's chapter. And I'm on 5% battery, so we need to hurry up. The Bite of 83. It's now widely accepted among fans that FNAF 4 doesn't show the infamous Bite of 87, but instead a different Bite of 83. The evidence. Fredbear and Friends. In Night 3 minigame, the TV plays a show with 1983 copyright date. Responsibility. The Bite of 87 forced management to introduce new rules for the animatronics. Frontal lobe. The Bite of 87 resulted in the loss of the victim's frontal lobe. The frontal lobe deals with coordination, memory, planning, reasoning, discernment, and the like. Secret cameras in the private room of Sister Location. Oh, right. Okay, so we're going forward in the timeline. In the private room of Sister Location, a remote control is held by the Fredbear plush. I thought that was a walkie-talkie. That we see in the FNAF 4 night end minigames. The secret keypad on the wall has the passcode 1983. This keypad brings up a security camera feed of the FNAF 4 house. And then we have a cameo as well. The Curse of Dreadbear seemingly taking place during Fall Fest 83. And the FNAF 4 house is visible on the house on the hill in the distance. Okay, they don't have a picture of that last one here, but we'll learn about the Curse of Dreadbear much later on. We have a number of games to get through before that. Fan theories. What's up with Fredbear? It seems clear someone is spying on the bite victim between the creepy way the Fredbear plush follows him around in the FNAF 4 night end minigames and the FNAF 4 camera feed in Sister Location's private room. Why though? Could it be because of what the child saw at the pizzeria, or because the keeper of the cameras knows how dangerous the animatronics are? At the end of the game, the Fredbear plush does give you a clue as to the bite victim's fate. You're broken. I'm still here. I will put you back together. Well, that's someone talking through the Fredbear plush. Some interesting theories based on a similar wording in Sister Location. Could this mean whoever is spying wants to put the bite victim's soul into an animatronic? The putting you back together notion is also a central theme in FNAF World. Yes, FNAF World is heavily connected to the crying child passing away and the Happiest Day minigames being set up in FNAF 3. FNAF World is totally canon. Is this line coming from one of the creators in the animatronics, either Henry or William Afton? Probably William and possibly someone else, because the text changes color on the last line. Could the bite victim ultimately possess Golden Freddy, whom many fans believe to be an old Fredbear Springlock suit? Yeah, both of those are true. Crying Child possesses FNAF, Golden Freddy and Fredbear are synonymous. And that brings us to Chapter 5, Sister Location. Look at that, we made it through the first 4 games. We are going to have to pause there because my phone's now on 4% battery. So we can play some games. We can continue FNAF 6. I still haven't finished FNAF 6. I was trying to go for the 2 final endings I'm missing, and one of them is the blacklisted ending, and we just were not able to beat that. So I think we let my phone charge for a while, see if we can get that back up to 100% as quickly as possible, and then continue onward with the book. But we can stop at Sister Location here. You know what? Really quickly, since it's not dead yet, let's go to Chica's Secret Party and read that, because I don't want to wait. Where is it? Where is it? Help Wanted. Wait, Help Wanted 2? Wasn't it before this? No, it was Chapter 13. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're going to read this really quickly. Chica's Secret Party. Skipping ahead. Scott Cawthon's minigame guide. Chica's throwing a party. At this party, there are plenty of guests to feed sweet cupcakes and some very unwanted guests that crash the party. Chica's Secret Party was very nearly a secret game, as it was only available online for a short time, 3 days to be precise, on scottgames.com back in 2016. This is false. This game never existed. Scottgames.com never had a 3-day long game back in 2016 called Chica's Secret Party. Information and tips can still be found on fan wiki websites about the elusive secret party, so check them out if you want to know more. Fans were theorizing this might lead to an ARG, and a fake website did pop up in correspondence with this, but it was proven to be a fan-made hoax. But let's continue reading here. So Chica moves through the secret party, hopping and jumping through levels, collecting all the pink cupcakes she can scoop up. Throughout the levels, there are babies demanding yummy cupcakes. Chica brings the babies the cupcakes she's collected, turning the crying babies into happy babies. The more babies she appeases, powers up her life force, allowing her to speed up when needed for special levels. The question is, can Chica accomplish all of the levels without being caught by the mysterious shadow figures? Now, before going on, we can just make note, a lot of these screenshots look very similar to the FNAF 3 minigames, and then that is just straight up Midnight Motorist, so I don't know why Chica's in Midnight Motorist. Doesn't make sense. But the crying babies. The secret party are filled with upset babies, whom Chica must feed the cupcakes to in order to accomplish her tasks. In most of the levels, the babies are happy with just one cupcake. Chica discovers that occasionally the babies need more than one cupcake to stop their tantrums, and sometimes she needs to be super fast to accomplish her tasks. Then we got the shadow figures. In a stealthy game twist, there are 2 shadow figures sneaking through the party as well. Chica needs to follow one of the shadow figures to discover who the person is behind the shadow. When she finds herself toe-to-toe with a shadow figure, her best bet is to run in the opposite direction and hide. Beware, it's very important to not follow the wrong shadow figure or else. So are these Shadow Bonnie and Shadow Freddy? I don't know. Moving on. Oh, it's getting hard to fold the book over this many pages. The house. The secret party takes place in a house that is a maze of adventurous goals with 10 crafty levels to complete in order to win the game. There are 2 bedrooms and a secret room, a bathroom, a kitchen, and a dining room, a living room, a home office, a garage, a basement, and an attic. A lot of rooms. All with a unique undertaking that Chica must tackle in order to beat the levels and ultimately say goodnight to her guests. The levels. The room levels are sporadically laid out throughout the 3-story house. Interestingly, Fredbear appears walking through the hallways. Chica may find it useful to see what he has to say. However, when he decides to talk to her, is somewhat of a mystery. So it's random. They're saying it's random if Fredbear talks to her. Chica may discover interesting secrets and tips throughout the party to help her fulfill her goals. We got... Oh, my phone's dead. Okay, we didn't get to finish reading Chica's secret party. I'm sorry. I was trying to rush it, but the camera's dead. Phone's dead. Okay, we're gonna close the book for now. And I'm going to charge my phone up. And then we'll come back to that later. So who wants to play some FNAF 6, y'all? I think we should do some FNAF 6. Okay, I gotta, like, move stuff around on my desk and get the game opened up. So give me a moment. We'll just put the book over here for now. Okay, let's do some shenanigans here. Do we have any mods active at the moment? I was really hoping for a Scott's Game update to coincide with the book release. Why mention this dead website if it's not relevant anymore? Yeah, right? Was there nothing that got updated today? I guess it's worth checking. Scottgames.com, not Scott's Games. Is there just nothing on the website? It's just straight black? Wait, is it really just, there's nothing, not even a single, like, logo for Scott Games? What about FNAF World? Does the FNAF World website not exist anymore? Wasn't it FNAFworld.com? Yeah, 10 months ago, FNAF World is finally gone. Dang. Well, I guess there's no theories there. Yeah, okay, Scott's Games is, I mean, well, it is just a blank black image. Has anybody tried, like, brightening this in Photoshop or whatever? Revered, my phone is dead at the moment, so we can no longer read the book until it's fully charged. So we're gonna switch over to FNAF 6. Would you be able to switch games for me? You can leave the title the same, but switching games to FNAF 6. And I need to switch around my monitors real quick. Let me move my makeshift tripod. There we go. Finally, I'm back to 3 monitors again. My system's freaking out right now while the monitor is turning on, so bear with me, folks. Also, we can still see the image even though the camera's off. I don't know why it's just frozen on that image. YouTube is not receiving enough main video. What? No, streams are fine. Streams should be fine. Okay, let's do this. There we go. Oh, almost. Try again. Come on, computer. Whoops, OBS has crashed. Are we live?